Oh,
That's our Discord one too.
Yeah.
Discord one too.
Oh, you know what? It's
Yeah.
so small on Discord. I never noticed.
I know.
It's so small on Discord. I never
Oh wait, no,
noticed.
stop. Why are you doing that?
Okay. Let's see. It's still loading.
What's loading?
Oh, just my Twitch and stuff. Just making sure I'm on the right internet. Okay. So who would like to get inspiration and give us a little recap?
Maybe Micah.
I
The
agree.
first time. Can I do it since I was not actually
You weren't
here
there?
last time?
Well, oh, you were here last time.
Right.
So yeah. Go ahead.
Okay.
Go ahead. And give us a recap.
So we opened up on basically the dragon in the fog cloud, and everyone cornered up in one room, and Lucia out on the deck, and we basically fought the dragon until its last hit point, and then Aster healed it, and it got away. There was also a wizard. It was a wizard that got away. He seemed important too, and he got away. Then we freed the people that were kidnapped by the village, by the green dragon, and we escorted them back to the town, where we were celebrated with a party. While in the town, we didn't really do much other than did some shenanigans. I'm probably missing some stuff.
There's one last thing. There was some elves that came and visited you.
Oh yes, the elves, yes. And they wanted to take us to Orlon.
Oh yeah, we do have a mission right now.
Yeah, that's concerning the amulets and the clash of seasons.
See, you didn't even mention how Aster was a chosen one.
Yes, I forgot that he's the champion of. Wait, he's the champion
What's
of light.
Amulet?
Of light.
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 Okay.
He's the paladin. Of course, he's the champion of light.
Okay. Let's see here. So, oops, pull this up.
So we're back in the town of. I always forget the name.
Odenton.
Odenton.
So you guys are back in Odenton. You guys get up the next morning, have a nice breakfast, and then unless you had other plans, you go on your way accompanied by these elves.
It's a long trip, right?
It'll be about a day or two, maybe.
Oh no, it's not a long trip. Okay.
Can I get their names again, please?
Lady Alania is the person in charge, and just a second. Sovelis and Lerindila are the others. The other two. They seem to be more like guards, perhaps?
Backup dancers.
Yeah, backup dancers. She's got like this gorgeous like riding dress on with like these like silver stars, and it's like on a dark blue, almost black.
So Silas.
Sovelis and Lerindila. I'll copy and paste it. Just a second.
You have complicated names. I can't pronounce them.
They're all getting nicknames.
Let's see here. It's in roll 20.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, let me get on the. Okay. So, you guys are on your way. And the description, of course, of her is that she has this beautiful, sort of very pale silvery blonde hair, and she has these beautiful blue eyes. Her hair is in this amazing updo with like these little like moonstone pins sort of all throughout her hair that glitter in the sunlight, and she has this beautiful dark blue cloak with like these just it's ever so slight iridescence to it, and she's wearing this beautiful riding dress of deep blue with silver embroidered stars on it. And the other two are also nicely dressed, but they have like dark blue leather armor on. And she has a beautiful pale white horse, and the others have black horses. And you guys go on your way on the road. Is there anything that you want to say to them while in your travels?
What's your brother? What's your brother like? I ride up to alongside her.
What did you say? Sorry.
I said, "What's your brother like?"
She says, he is very wise, and very intelligent. He has long specialized in divination magic. And he has protected our realm for a few hundred years now. It is he who saw you all upon Astor's attunement to the amulet, because of its close proximity and the fact that he'd been searching for such signs. He was alerted to its presence upon activation.
You say that he's specialized in divination magic. What are you specialized in?
I specialize in let me see here. In abjuration magic.
Like mind shielding.
Mm-hmm. Indeed, it was a necessary. I found it to be a useful magic to employ against my brother when he was perhaps not as
strong.
No, not as
respected voters.
Exactly. Indeed. Of course, as he's matured, he has gained such respect and understanding. But as a young man, he did not quite understand the meaning of privacy.
I feel like she just whispers a little bit towards her and is like, I can relate.
I heard that.
She says, how long have you protected this? Have you only protected this realm, or have you protected the mortal plane as well?
We of course have interest in protecting the mortal plane. There was one other time where there was a group that attempted that we aided in their attempts to bring an end to the clash of seasons, but unfortunately they were unsuccessful.
Can I ask what happened to that group?
It is unclear. They disappeared.
Ashley just kind of groans when he hears it.
This was a few hundred years ago.
And if I'm guessing one of them had this amulet.
Yes, indeed. There was one who had this amulet. Let's see here. There was also one who had an amulet. Well, I must not dwell too much on it at the moment.
No, I understand. I'm just.
So
I
you have
don't
an
think
amulet too?
he's.
Oh no.
Your brother does?
I
Um,
was.
we must not speak in too much detail over the amulets until we are within the safety of Noladon.
I was just pointing out that it seems odd to be pointing out right now that he did have an amulet in Odenton. But I understand that we need to get to your brother too, so he can explain. One more question.
Mm-hmm.
For when you were with this group that originally was helping with the Clash of Seasons, were they strong, I guess? Or were they like us?
I mean, they started out with skills, but not extremely powerful, and they grew in great power until they disappeared.
Hmm.
And
Interesting.
I did not accompany them. There are reasons for this. That we will explain later.
Oh, it's understandable. Thank you for answering my questions. I was just curious as you as having a mysterious, beautiful woman come in the middle of Odenton and two people, and then wisp us away to somewhere, that does bode a lot of questions.
Oh, of course, I completely understand. Um, but like I've said, the full story will be given in Noladon by my brother. He has more information on the subject than I do. I only gleaned what information I gathered from meetings that Lord Orlon, my brother, had with these adventurers many hundreds of years ago.
So what's so special about Odilon? Or whatever.
Orlon was elected as the Lord of Noladon. He has many gifts.
What's the name
Uh,
of the town?
Vardenolde is the capital, and Noladon is the Elven realm.
Uh, and what makes it safer to talk about it there than here?
There are certain protections that have been in place for millennium over in Noladon. One cannot, or at least it is very difficult to scry from outside of Noladon into Noladon. Also, teleportation magic does not work going in, so you cannot teleport directly into Noladon.
Interesting.
hmm I would say that guys would probably know that there are certain protections over old Elven realms.
I was just going to say, I feel like Lucia and Rowan know this.
Yeah, probably. Maybe Rowan has forgotten and he just wasn't paying
No, it was just
attention.
like I just wasn't sure if that was like here too, if they had one.
Yeah, yeah.
Just assume Elven realms always have some sort of protection.
I don't like to
Yeah.
assume.
Yeah, I would say the only ones that don't are like there's certain elven settlements, but those tend to be like wood elven settlements, high elves.
Wood Elven. Oh,
But yeah, so you travel for the next 2 days. Nothing bad happens. And as the second day is the sun is beginning to set, you come to.
Bless you.
Bless you.
Sorry. Thank you.
Hmm.
Such a Canadian thing to say. Are you sure you're not from Canada? Sorry, thank you.
Where is this? Darn it. Um. Hmm.
So how do you feel being the champion of the light?
It's an honor. It's an honor.
It's an honor.
I think. I'm actually not quite sure how I feel about it. I don't really know. I'm not exactly comfortable with like the fact that there's a group of people who did this exact same thing they're trying to get us to do, and they're all just like disappeared.
It's true.
Something just doesn't feel right about that, and like not to be in like this guy, but this was in the horde of a dragon queen apparently.
That was a dragon king, but a dragon prince.
No, his mom.
No, it was in
Oh.
his.
He stole it.
Didn't catch that, sorry.
His mommy. That's where it came from. So she was like probably an ancient, at least an adult, green dragon.
Mhm.
Mother
From
dragon.
the Feywild.
Well, how does the amulet make you feel?
Doesn't make me feel more powerful. And like he's like trying to be I'm trying to figure out how he would actually wear something like this blatant, even though the fact like he's supposed to be keeping it hidden. I feel like he would just kind of like try to have it tucked into his armor a little, but it probably like peeks out at the edges.
Aster, dear, I can try and find something more hidden later. It's okay.
Okay, I just I feel like, especially given that story, and especially given the fact that there's like divination wizards looking for us, like I just feel very, very
I
uncomfortable.
think the divination wizard's on our side.
Yes, he's just trying to help you at this moment.
And like I guess like at this point, like Aster would just kind of like pipe up and just goes like, just random question: how many people who don't like us know about this?
Well, we're almost to Noladon, and that question will be answered soon.
Okay.
And in
We
fact,
will.
up ahead of you, you hear the sound of water. You come to a clearing and you see an elegant white stone bridge that crosses over a river in a.
Oh.
Every time.
Here we go.
Every time.
Always when he's in the middle of a description.
I know, every time.
Poor
I
guy.
blame Discord video
Yeah, it has something to do with video for sure.
because my computer is like overheating like crazy.
Yeah, it only does it only does this with Discord video. Whenever
Yeah,
we
Zoom it doesn't.
you don't Zoom it doesn't do it. Yeah. Okay,
Well,
so
I mean, I guess we could try Zoom next time.
could let's see here. So yes, so
But didn't it not work for chemo last time we tried Zoom?
I don't think we tried with chemo.
That's where my we'll talk about it after.
Yeah.
I think Zoom would work now since I actually have a camera, but
Okay. So you come to a clearing and see an elegant white stone bridge that crosses over a river in a deep cavern below, or like basically the river is way, but like there's like a drop off, or a cavern, a long cavern, and at the bottom of it there's this river, and the bridge crosses this cavern and river. The air in front of the trees on the other side shimmers strangely. Some of you, let me look at your passive perception.
That is decent. I have a 14.
13.
Oh wow.
Just a heads up, the Twitch just has like our video. It doesn't have Roll20 anymore.
I know. I did that because we're not using Roll20 right now.
Gotcha.
I also technically I have 18 for passive
Because you have the
Oh,
observant.
Oh,
right?
okay.
She just got observant.
observant. Mm-hmm.
Nice. Okay, so that makes it so only Lucia notices something. Everybody else is just not good enough. Substandard. Let's see here.
It's just those icy blues. You never. She notices everything.
Let's see here. You can see these beautiful platforms that are high up in the trees, and you can sort of see shapes, kind of walking to and fro along them as sentries. And let's see here. As you approach, two elves step out of the shadows in gleaming armor and dark blue cloaks, and then they kind of nod their head to Lady Alania, and she sort of nods back. She passes through the shimmering barrier and bids that you follow her.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, I follow.
Aster would kind of like tap on like the shimmering barrier a little bit before he like kind of walks in. He just like, ooh.
Okay. You kind of tap on it, but it doesn't. It's not like physical. Your hand goes through it.
I probably look back at him before I enter. I'm like, Aster dear, it's nothing to be alarmed by.
No, this is fun.
I think as you walk through, you feel sort of like a tingle that goes over your whole body.
Oh.
But it's a pleasant feeling.
Does anyone know how to change passive perception so that you can know my actual passive next time?
Yeah, I'll just. It's on my thing ding here. Just a second.
Okay.
Where's Lucia? Passive is now 18.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then passive investigation is what?
20.
20. Oops. 20. There we go. Okay. What level are you guys?
Level 4.
Oh, I just have so many groups I forget sometimes.
You have 3.
What other people are. Yeah, well, I'm still a lot. Okay. So, where are we? Wrong one.
Strahd's only level 5.
Technically, the season 1's group is only level 8, so don't worry.
You wend your way and we've been at that for a year, over a year.
That's what I said.
You wend your way through the forest. The leaves are a deep teal, and the bark is a pale cream color, giving it the feel of deep blue and starlight. The forest has an eerie calm about it that speaks of ancient secrets and untold power. The forest flows in the way that brings peace to your mind and solace to the soul. After some time, you come to a small town built around a town square. The buildings are elegant and flow much like Art Nouveau. Silver and blue are the predominant colors. In the center of the town, square, there's a circular stone slab filled with runes. Alania dismounts. Let's see here. and let's see here, and makes her
I
way
hold
to the.
out my hand for when she gets off her horse.
Oh yeah, she thanks you and smiles as you help her dismount, and she pulls you by the hand onto the stone slab, and beckons for the rest of you to follow her.
Yep, we follow.
Okay, just making sure. So yeah, so you get onto the stone slab. She begins moving her hands in beautiful, elegant gestures and speaking arcane words. And after about a minute, some runes on the slab light up, and then your vision outside of the slab blurs, and then reconstitutes. Uh, and instead you find yourself under a columned dome. It's very much like a pagoda, um, overlooking a large, elegant city with the sea far below you. You pass
Mhm.
through elegant gardens in naturalistic forms, and enter a large elven palace of immense beauty. Simplistic and soothing in appearance, you eventually enter a throne room. Much less imposing than you would have thought, the throne is simple and elegant in the elven style and only raised a few steps above you. Behind it, on either side, columned arches look out on the city below, white stones and the pale bark of the trees glistening from the silver light that seems to wink in and out as the lights below disappear and reappear through the treetops. Um, a man, elves in robes of blue and silver enter the room and announce, Lord Orlan Thrandir Verithil, the star-sung seer, ruler of Noladon and Lord of Varnolda. An elf with dark hair and blue eyes enters the room, robed in pale blue and silver, wearing an elven crown of silver that almost seems to glow with its own light, though that might just be the light refracting off of it. He turns to you all. Let's see.
I bow.
Yeah, I'm going to as well.
I'm not.
Um,
I do like a nod.
okay. He nods to you as well, and he says, ah, Lucia, Rowan, Micah, Aster, Vodi. Lovely to see you all in person.
My
Uh,
lord.
he smiles at you. Let's see here.
I
He says,
also have a background feat that says I am very good with nobles.
he smiles at you all and he says, "Why don't we come to the council chamber? We have some food prepared. I'm sure you have had a long journey, and of course we may discuss why you are here."
I'm gonna like stay behind Lucia and just follow her wherever she goes.
he takes you he takes you off to another room that is basically um, there's it's basically it's more like a porch in a way. So it's covered, but then there's these columned uh, this row of columned arches that look out over the city with beautiful sort of white and pale blue sheared draperies that kind of flow in the wind.
If
Um,
Lady Elonia is also following us into the room, I'll lead her in.
Yes,
With
she does.
yeah.
She sits down. So her brother sits at the head of the table. She sits next to him, and then you can all sit however you want around the table. There's some a beautiful meal that's set out for you. seems like smaller portions, but there's a great deal of vegetables and rice, maybe something that looks like quinoa. You see like some quail has been made, but there's also vegan and vegetarian options on the table. And once you've all sort of settled down, he turns to you all and he says, "Let's see here. And there's also two elves, Venya and Vardil, who are seated at the table as well. Seem to be a steward and another sort of official of Noladon. And he says, "Well, I think first it would be incumbent upon me to explain the clash of seasons, and what these amulets, and later what these amulets have to do with all of this.
I've
Many
already heard about
millennia.
the Clash of Season like 3 times now.
Oh, have you? Let's see. Okay, in that case, we'll skip that.
No, that was like a literal
um,
Rowan question. That was not out of character. That was like, I think we had.
Also, no, Lady Alanya did say what the Clash of Seasons
okay.
was.
Okay, so he'll say that um, about let's see here. A few hundred years after the conflict began, after they had been somewhat sealed within the demiplane. Um, let's see here. Seven. Let's see here. Seven powerful individuals, one of them a master craftsman of the arcane, banded together and created 7 amulets that would assist them in the full binding away of Auril and Zephrin to the outer planes, thereby preventing any more direct connection with our world and ending any further seasonal catastrophe. Knowing that the cults of Auril and Zephrin might try and interfere, and the general danger of the spells and rituals involved, the 7 imparted a fragment of their own souls into the amulet so that they could guide future bearers of the amulets to finish their work should they fail.
There's a soul inside that rock, and then I'll knock on it.
I say there is a fragment of soul.
Hello.
I'll knock on Aster's amulet.
It's just like the two
Hello?
of us. Like he's like knocking on, and I'm like talking to it. Just like hello.
I would say that Aster, you feel kind of a warmth and amusement that is not your own.
You know
Oh,
that is
I
very
think they say
rude.
hi.
You know that's very rude, Rowan. Let it be and let
I think
Aster.
it's rude to make a house in an amulet and just follow someone around.
Not if it means the detriment of the world. And I give him a look like, stop it.
I just wanted a hello.
He does say, whoever is in here says hello, and like they're just having like this weird, like I guess like stupid side conversation while he's trying to be like the main guy is trying to be like super serial.
So Lord Orlan continues and he says, unfortunately, something did go wrong in the ritual that these 7 tried to enact. They failed and all died, and the amulets were lost.
Encouraging.
However, there have been a few attempts of recovering the amulets. Based on my research, 2 groups have made it back to the island of Pelor, where this ritual was enacted, but both have failed. And of course, there have been other groups that have attempted to find the amulets, but none of the others made it as far as collecting them all and returning to the island of Pelor. Let's see here. These amulets are the key to finishing this ritual. The spirits, the fragment souls of their creators, will help you finish this ritual when they have all been collected, and you make your way to the island of Palor.
Do you know, possibly where we could find the rest of these amulets by chance, though?
Yes, at least some of them. Um,
Of course, of course. I was just.
there is, let's see here. Oh yeah, and then he says, and of course, in your quest, you must be very careful of the cults of winter and summer. Of course, the cult of winter worships uh, Auril, the goddess of winter, and the cult of summer worships Zephrin, the goddess of summer. Each of these cults will attempt, if they learn that you possess these amulets, they will attempt to take them from you and use them instead to free their goddess while entombing the other, dooming us all to either an eternal summer or an eternal winter.
Oh, how wonderful.
Yeah, so there is a great deal of responsibility upon your shoulders. About 200 years ago, let's see here. A Sylvan of the Greenwood, um, and an Assyrian cleric of Palor went to the north woods of Silvestre to find some blighter queen, but they never returned. So it is believed uh, that let's see here, the amulet of the woodland hero is in possession. That the blighter queen is in possession of this. Um, you may travel to Solanor, Silvestre's capital, uh, where you may speak with King Thrandir uh, about the whereabouts of the Blighter Queen. I am unsure of her exact location. And then, let's see. The dwarven kingdom of Thorbur is where the amulet of the warrior resides. King Thrain Grimbrand rules there, and unfortunately, it may be difficult to persuade him to give the amulet to you. He may doubt your ability to see this through, as so many have failed before. I think that the only way to convince him is to have a great deal of the amulets already on you before you even attempt to ask that he hand over the amulet that is within Thorbur. And I must also warn you that the dwarves don't really seem to care as much about the well-being of the planet, as they are safe within their mountain home, no matter the weather.
Of course.
And of course, as I have been spearheading and the other elven realms have a great deal to do with helping previous adventurers in this quest. They perhaps distrust the adventurers simply on the fact that they are associated with us elves. Let's see here. The Council of Valinor keeps the amulet of the mage, but it. Let's see. But they have been unable to retrieve it from a wizard's tower of the Last Bearer. let's see here. And that one is the amulet of the Arcanist, the one who created all of the who helped create all of the 7 amulets. Of course, some of the others we are uncertain of their whereabouts or even their names. But Valinor has a great library that you could perhaps peruse and find answers, as well as Loredon, the capital of Aval, or any other great library that you happen across. Let's see here. We did actually happen to gain one other amulet. We're uncertain of its name, but there was a young couple fleeing the wrath of the woman's father, who have taken shelter here in Noldon with the young man's grandfather. And they happen to have one of these amulets, which I asked them to give me for price of their safety here.
They wouldn't happen to look like one looked
Yeah.
heart-shaped face, beautiful woman, and half elf.
Yes, I believe you all were tasked with bringing them back to the woman's father. Yes.
Yes, I'm not. If they really are a couple that's just looking to not be prosecuted, it's fine with me. It seems this is more pressing anyway.
Of
Even if
course.
there's a ton of money, she whispers.
Right.
Yeah.
She's still a road. She's not.
Right.
I mean,
It's
this is more
900.
pressing.
He pulls out an amulet that looks very similar in a way to the amulet that Astor has, except that this one, this is also made out of sunglass, but it's been worked sunglass, so it looks slightly different. It has sort of like a pale, it's sort of a pale iridescent purple, like sort of lilac, that sort of shifts into like pink or maybe a very pale blue sometimes, depending on like the light that you're looking at. And then there's like these pink and silver veins within it. And it's on a beautiful white silver chain. And as soon as he pulls it onto the table, Rowan, you have a longing to touch it.
I go towards it.
Okay. As you reach out your hand and touch it, it shines with bright light that's almost blinding, and you see a vision of a beautiful woman with dark, silky hair in a deep purple robe of with sort of like iridescence of like red and silver throughout it, and she's in this beautiful columned hall, white columns with like a red base to them, and there's like these pink petals that are like flowing throughout the room, drifting upon a wind. Her eyes are a pale purple, and she smiles at you, and then the vision ends. And let me find our little amulets.
Who was she?
Let's see here. You somehow know that she is an enchantress,
Oh,
and you have the amulet of the enchantress. And let me edit this so you can see it now. Let's see here. Whoops! No, I don't want that.
Rowan? Ro, are you okay?
I think so.
Okay, so under amulets, it's the folder amulets. You open that up and then go. There's one that says that's parentheses Rowan, amulet of the enchantress. So currently, you know the charm person and suggestion spells, and they are always prepared. You gain +2 to charisma to a max of 20.
Mm.
And at later levels, you'll get other cool things.
Counter charm one's
You
pretty
just
high.
gave it. You just gave him the most like.
Oh,
Oh,
what?
he suffered.
The most
It was
what?
made for you.
This was made way too much for you.
Yeah, like I make them all specifically for
Yeah,
like
you're
the
just
players. They
jealous I
all
got
don't
mine first.
Oh no, I know exactly who's what. I mean, I have a feeling I know who Lucia is going to be.
You never
I'm
know,
not
I
he
think
going
might
to.
as
he might change it.
Aster would just go like, did you see like a man in like white and armor? Is that what yours looks like?
No, I saw a woman.
Oh,
She
is she nice?
She smiled at me.
Oh, that's good. Mine smiled at me.
There were a bunch of flowers everywhere. It was really pretty.
Wait. And like like Aster like gets up and walks over to Rowan. He goes like, can they talk to each other? He just like puts his next to the
Oh,
other.
I don't know. I'll put mine next to his.
Are you
there's
trying to play? Are you trying to play dolls with your amulets? Really?
Well,
Experimenting.
yeah.
I think that there's just an ever so slight glow to them, but other than that, you don't really see any reaction.
I just assumed that they miss each other. They all used to hang out together, right? Like, they were all made together.
Hmm. Oh, nice. It looks nice. I'm just skeptic, I guess. Anyway, is there anything else you needed to talk about with us, my lord?
Let's see. There was one other thing I'm trying to remember what it was. Um, Somebody asked a question about something and I said later, and I can't remember what it was now.
Aster did
No.
ask.
Yeah.
Aster was asking like how like are there other people who know about the amulets that would be I guess tracking them?
Yeah, that was the Colts of Summer and Winter. So maybe I did say everything. I just feel like there's
Yeah.
something I'm missing.
I feel like I would remember too if with season
Oh,
1.
I remember now. He says, Lord Orlando says, we will of course assist you as much as we can. However, we cannot take too much of a direct way of aiding you, as there have been prophecies that warn against the success of these ventures. It is fate that has brought you together. Uh, it is clear that you are all chosen to bring an end to this clash of seasons. But in order for you to be successful, you must do it on your own. We will of course find ways that we can help, but I cannot send powerful individuals to help you or give you legendary magical items.
Aster's like stone eyes just kind of like slant for a second. He was like, that was oddly specific.
Out of out of character, what rarity are these amulets?
Um, yeah, I mean they're all legendary because they can become quite powerful, but they
Yeah,
start
they
out
are.
lower.
Yeah. Don't
Uh,
worry, they will become more powerful. He finally updated our season 1 amulets and they're like
I think that he will offer to give you each at least a +1 weapon if you don't already have one.
Can I get a +1? Oh wait, no.
No, like as in like people
Yeah.
who use weapons.
I have a short bow +1 and a dagger of fire, so I don't need that.
Okay.
I think Aster needs something, right? Like
I do.
Aster has a greatsword though.
+1?
Thundering greatsword. It's a
Oh,
magical
thundering.
weapon.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But I
it's a
also
great
have my
sword.
macaw whittle. My one-handed macaw whittle.
Okay.
If I had a +1 shield, I'd hit someone.
Would you prefer a +1 macaw whittle over the thunder?
No.
Okay. Cool.
But it means that you can have a shield still if you got the +1 McCall whittle over the great sword.
It's up to you.
Nope. Great sword.
Okay.
Okay.
And then Who else uses weapons? Let me see.
Micah
Bodhi.
uses weapons, don't
It's
you?
mostly Bodhi.
Bodhi.
Yeah,
has like 3 weapons.
and
Oh.
Bodhi already has a +1 longbow.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you have a sword that you use at all?
I have a longsword that I
Okay.
use.
He hands you an elegant, beautiful elven blade that is a +1 longsword.
What about Micah? Do you have a?
I'll take a nice shield if you have one.
Unfortunately, no.
Oh.
+1 shields tend to be very difficult to make.
Master just like pats Michael on the shoulder and goes like, "I'll be your shield. No worries."
I know you people are gonna get like crazy high armor classes. I'm not giving you +1 shields.
Have tried.
Also, don't
Does he
you
happen to
have the
have-
highest? Don't you have highest armor class right now anyway?
Don't
I have
say what?
18.
No, I
I
think
don't know if
that's
that's highest.
Oh yeah.
Staster Hub.
17.
In the other campaign, we have one person who has 22 armor class.
Oh yeah.
Oh my
No,
gosh.
Dylan has 22. Don't.
Yeah.
Of course,
Dylan.
it's Dylan.
Wait, he's a hexblade. How does he have...
I'm gonna be very careful
Don't.
about
Don't.
giving
Just
shields out that are
don't.
like more than
That's
yeah
fine.
no.
Don't ask.
Well,
This
like
is
it's so
spoiler.
hard to make a magical shield these days.
Also,
Yeah.
does he happen to have any +1 daggers lying around?
Mm. Sure, he'll give you a +1 dagger.
Yeah.
Or
Aster,
did you
like,
want to be like me, Rowan? And she
I
just
to
like
have a dagger.
I don't know if I should ask for one too. No, it's okay.
No,
I don't
it's
be greedy.
Micah, it's okay for you to want things.
Is it?
Yeah.
Micah. If you have to like a dagger, just take a dagger.
I don't really use one, so I'll just take a regular one from one of you guys.
Hmm.
You never
Aster just
know.
shakes his head and he just goes like, Micah would like a dagger if you have an extra one.
Okay, so he gives you a normal dagger.
Is there anything else? I feel like if we need to know anything, you would tell us, but it seems that now we can just enjoy our meals.
Yes, of course. There are magic shops that you can go to if you have the coin. And I will of course give you a discount. That will be, I think, not too much help. That would prevent the prophecy from coming true. And of course you may rest. And then of course you'll need to decide where you want to go to next. If you want to go to Valinor to find the Wizard's Tower and the Arcanist's amulet within,
I think Lucia would love the Wizard's Tower.
or if you would like to go to Silvestre and find this Blighter Queen who has wreaked such havoc on the woodlands there.
It might be wise to go to the Blighter Queen, but I think we should rest on that, as I would love to get to know the both of you. And she like makes eyes at Lady, just like the slightest eyes at Lady Anya.
I want to cast guidance.
Oh man! So yeah, you guys have dinner. Alania speaks with you about sort of different about the history of Noladon, as well as other Elven realms, and sort of a little bit of the history that she knows about other groups that have attempted to to save the world from the Clash of Seasons, the various groups and their composition and such.
What about
And
the history about yourself, though?
she tells you about how she grew up. Her mother was the previous lady of Noladon. Succession is not primogeniture. It's they're elected. So from the royal families. So it didn't necessarily need to be her brother or herself. she was considered for the position, but she didn't really want it. She wanted to spend more of her time researching and such. She said she notes that her brother is better at sort of politics and is more charismatic than her. But she prefers kind of she's more of an introvert and likes to stick to herself and just do magical research and such.
Well, I doubt that. You seem very charismatic to me, but I do think that you would have been quite the role, as I have more relatability with my brother and I. I like to research a lot too, books, and
I would say in many ways I wouldn't say that this is directly true, but I prefer being the power behind the throne, I guess you could say. Influencing. I have a certain amount of influence over my brother, and he has a great respect for me. And I'm not really one for the the sort of big meetings, and I have the freedom to go where I choose and influence the world and the realm when I see a need, but not the responsibility of carrying it all through or dealing with things that I don't really care about.
I slide my hand over and I can respect that. She's totally putting it on right now.
Good. She kind of smiles.
I wish I had Bardic right now.
Well, she has guidance.
Go ahead and make a, I'll say a persuasion check.
Okay.
It's the only way I can Ion loves you and tap Lucia on the back.
She's using her noble talk, right? Her noble
I don't know if that works for getting laid.
If it doesn't, then what's the point?
Exactly.
I mean, nobles
These
are
are how
more.
empires have been.
Wait. Nobles are more inclined to talk to me because of that kind of thing and
sure.
all that. Yeah. So it should make the talking more easier, not advantage or something like that.
Oh wait, I know what to do.
Have you rolled
can
yet? I don't see it.
Oh fuck.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Dear.
Wait, what happened?
She kind of
Yeah.
she kind of smiles. She kind of smiles, and she says,
Well, if that guidance was there, I don't want it to be that bad.
uh-huh.
So I
Yeah,
will roll the
I'll allow you guidance. He saw you
What does
make
Rowan
an eye.
see? Between
You know what? It's a stupid roll. I'll use my inspiration.
Sure,
Yeah.
go for it.
Yeah.
And guidance.
No, you got to roll again because you're, yeah.
Okay, and then I'll
Then
roll the guidance.
and you can add guidance.
13.
Yes.
That's not bad.
She seems
I don't want it to be that bad.
She seems uncertain. She seems uncertain whether she wants it or not.
I say, maybe next time around we
Can
can.
I do a vibe check on her?
Sure, do an insight check.
Oh,
Because I see my
Oh,
sister trying to
gosh.
get game. I see my sister playing.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead and roll
See
an
how
insight
she's
check.
doing. Where's insight? Book. There's. What's that? 13.
She's difficult to read.
I like
I
how
think
you're all trying to help her.
my passive insight is 18. Can I get a better read on her?
Sure. She doesn't seem like she's in the mood.
So just try again later, kind of thing.
Can I?
Astrid just kind of leans over to Lucia and just talk about books and arcane things that might help. That's
Lucia just Lucia just looks over and is like, I would love to talk about books, maybe, and your research more in privacy.
I'm gonna bring them
If
a
that's
drink.
okay.
I'm gonna bring them both a drink.
She
I
says,
think I.
Cheers.
she says, certainly, you can come by to my, what's it called? To my workshop tomorrow if you have time.
Do you have a
Sure,
study
that would
here?
be.
Sorry, what?
Do you have like a personal library here?
My workshop could be considered a personal library, I suppose.
Oh my gosh.
Is it far?
Lucia's just like
No.
shaking her head at this point.
I mean, my sister loves books. I think she would be happy to go now if you're willing.
I'm
a bit,
okay.
I'm a bit tired from the travel. I'm sure all of you are too.
I'm tired too. It's fine. It's fine. And she gives you like a look like piss off.
Are you gonna be staying? Are you gonna be staying with us, Elanya, Lady Elanya?
Well, you'll be staying in the palace.
Is this where you stay?
Yes.
Okay.
Micah's gonna walk over to Bodhi because it's awkward here now. And he's gonna be like, "You don't want to go over there."
Bodhi is just like collecting the seeds out of the fruit that he eats.
Nice.
Oh, I love that. That's so cute.
Right.
Aster
gonna-
will. I think Aster like as soon as like there's like a break in the conversation would kind of like nudge his way over to I guess like the king and just kind of like start up the conversation of. So I heard that you're really good at divination,
Indeed.
and I would assume that you also have like an interest in maybe I don't know history.
Indeed. I do have a great interest in history.
And so like Aster is just like trying to like nudge toward the subject, and then he just flat out goes like, "What happened to Aster Minos?"
He says, I'm uncertain of this well, that your name is Astraminos.
Yes, but I'm named after my civilization called Aster Minos.
Interesting.
So I'm asking you if you know anything about it.
Not currently, but I can certainly look into it.
Aster is just like super happy. He's just like, thank you. And he just like grabs like the king's hand. He's just like full force, like shaking it, like happy. But like the awkward one where it's just like too much energy. Yep, exactly.
Yeah, you guys have a nice rest of the dinner, and you guys head off to go sleep. Well, I guess
before we left, I would have druid crafted some flowers based off Lady Elanya's thing, and I would have put them in what's her name, Lucia's hands.
okay.
And I would have messaged her to give her flowers.
Oh my gosh.
That's how you do it.
And then as she's walking there, I'll message Lady Elanya and say, please have mercy on my sister. It's been so long.
I step on his
You
foot.
didn't hear that.
No, but I step on his foot when you give me the
Yeah.
flowers.
No, I don't
You
give
see
them
him.
to you. I druid craft them. They disappear. I'm not near you. I don't have to be next to you to do shit, bitch. I'm not you.
You don't hear a response from
That's fine. I just look at what's going on.
Elania. Mhm.
Lucia's just like, kill me now. I dare you. I dare you to kill me now.
Oh man. So, you guys head off. Have a nice.
I don't even get a persuasion check.
No.
Oh, unlucky.
Also, Lucia's not going to be taking those flowers up to her.
So you guys have a nice rest. You wake up the next day. You're down for breakfast. Lord Orlon is at the table and he's saying, "So, what's the plan? Do you want to stay here in the city for a few days, or will you be wanting to go off to either Solanor or Valinor.
Wait, how much gold do we have?
Not a
Oh,
lot.
actually, you
Yeah,
guys have a lot.
I think we should probably at least stay for a day to get some supplies, and then we'll maybe a day or two to get some supplies, and then we'll
Do you
head
guys have
off.
any idea on which amulet we should try to find first?
We'll probably try and find the Blader Queen, as going to a wizard tower or the Dwarven Kingdom is not the best right now, and at least if we go find the Blader Queen, we at least have Bodhi's expertise in the woods.
Just letting you know, for the Wizard's Tower, I'll scale things to your level.
Oh,
So like if you're
Metagaming.
thinking, yeah, if you're metagaming because you know that the Wizard's Tower is really
Oh
difficult,
no, that's not
like
why I was
yeah,
actually thinking.
I mean it will be very difficult, but like it'll be appropriate to
I
your level.
mean,
Yeah.
I'm just saying.
No, I think her issue with the Wizard's Tower is that there's not enough roleplay.
that is too. That is
Where are you,
true.
Zach?
he's gone.
And also, they said that the forest by the Blader Queen was like struggling, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, Bodhi,
Yeah.
I think would be
I
concerned about
mean,
that.
I think
Okay,
he would
so
too.
also, so like I don't like Z just said when you left. There's not enough. Like I hate how blocky the wizard tower is.
She said there wasn't enough
Oh.
roleplay in the Wizard's Tower.
Okay.
It just felt. So I didn't like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it wasn't about power
Yeah.
leveling.
Got it. I was just making
Mhm.
sure.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
all.
Yeah, no, you're all good here, Zach. It's just mostly
But what's in the Blighter Queen? Which amulet is that?
it's the
The
woodland
The
hero.
Woodland
Woodland
Hero.
Hero.
Oh.
So we'll be going probably after Bodhi's.
Oh, where's the king?
The Lord.
Where's the king?
Are
I want to talk to him.
Lord Orlon is at the table with you.
Lord Orlon, can people have more than one amulet?
No, the amulet only chooses one.
Oh. And I'll just look at my amulet.
You're so greedy.
Why? No, it's a serious question. I don't know shit. Well, there's not 7 of us, so I'm just wondering.
That's actually a pretty good question.
Well, there will be another person at some point, and if not, we'll get an NPC.
Okay, I just don't want
So-
them to be alone.
Yeah. I mean, there is a mystery.
There are 2
Sorry.
amulets. So
Yeah.
you don't know much about the amulet that the bandit captain had.
Mhm.
And then there's another one. Let's see. So we got one. We got amulet of champion of light, amulet of the woodlands, amulet of the warrior, and
Arcanist,
the arcanist,
and then the
and
mage.
the enchantress, and then we've got 2 mystery amulets.
Oh
Mhm.
wait, are the amulets of the mage and the arcanist 2 separate things or the same thing?
No, they're the same thing.
Oh.
Yeah. Yes, it's the amulet of the arcanist is what it's called.
So, did you know this amulet that I have?
He says, I did not know.
So you don't know who she is?
No, I'll have to do some research and see if I can find some more information on her.
Okay. I'll probably vibe with my amulet. Probably just like try to focus on it.
Yeah, I think Asa would be doing that too.
Early in the morning, before we had breakfast, I'm going to do something.
Sure.
Is it a prank?
No. I was going to get flowers that didn't involve you.
Petty.
So, I went and got actual. Actually,
Last
no,
night
I
got
went.
rid of all the flowers and replaced them with druid craft flowers.
No, you did not.
I know.
Putting in that work, that's cool.
Well, actually, I would have. You know, actually, I probably would have brought the book out. I bring out my favorite book.
Cool. What is it?
It's It's not the romance book, but it's a history of the Feywild that probably tells a story of actually my dad and my mom.
Your mom and dad.
Well,
I think you mean our mom and dad.
Our mom and dad, yeah.
You can. Anyways, it's okay to say that when she's speaking to me and you're not in the context.
Yeah.
Matter, I exist.
Okay. It's funny. My older
I'm just gonna do
brother.
shit.
My older brother would often say, like, when he was with both me and my brother, he would say my dad or my mom rather than our dad or our mom, for some reason. But
Well,
anyways,
when I'm with like my siblings, I sometimes do that, and they're like sometimes like that too.
yeah,
I totally get it.
yeah.
So like I bring it out, and then once the breakfast is done, I take it to the private workshop.
Okay. She's at the breakfast table. So you come over to her and tell her that you want to see the private workshop.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. She says, of course. Um, and she takes you there, and it's really beautiful. It's very well put together, pretty organized for the most part. She has it looks like maybe she's been doing like a little bit of crafting. She has like a few different wands that are on the table. And there's these beautiful orbs that are kind of revolving in the center of the room. And of course there's a host of books all over, and these large floor-to-ceiling bookshelves. She kind of shows you the different areas of the room. There's like some runes on the floor. There's like some workshop tables and such.
I think like Lucia just says, "Can I move into here?"
She kind of chuckles. And says, you of course can take a look around. It is my special place though, so I often like to be here alone.
I jest, my dear. I do not mean to invade your special place for too long. I brought my favorite book while I'm on my travels, or one of them at least. And she like shows the book with the story of our parents are.
She kind of looks it over and she goes, "Very interesting. Yes, I do like Tales of the Feywild. I'll give it a read."
Wonderful. Take your time, as I guess we are staying here a day or two.
Of course.
Wow, this is exquisite. And she like puts her fingers like across the books and just like, how have you like read every book in this place?
Not every book. Some of them I only go to when I need a certain thing, and so I've read parts of them, but not all of them.
I remember staying in my room for hours, the library for hours, and trying to read every single book. My brother would stay in the forest, and I would just stay in the library, and the adventures I'd have and the knowledge I would get.
She kind of smiles. Go ahead and do an insight check.
Oh, this is interesting. Just 1 second. Just reading that. Insight.
Nope. Yeah, even with pass, 13 is the passive, but it's not enough.
Yeah, 13's passive. No, fortunately. I'm sorry for last night, my brother being a little overstepping on his sense. I was just, you seem like an interesting person, and I do not mean to be impolite.
She kind of relaxes a little bit. She says, that's good to know. Brothers can be impertinent sometimes, although mine is over that phase.
Mine isn't quite yet.
I can
To be
tell.
honest, I have my fun with him as well sometimes, but it seems sometimes I have to rein in him sometimes.
Of course. She kind of nods knowingly.
Yes, I still have to get him back for trying to push on and other stuff as well, but I don't know what to do with that.
I have no ideas at the moment, but I'll let you know if anything comes to me.
Oh, you'd love to get in with the scheme. I do
Perhaps,
wonder.
if I have
Oh,
a good idea.
and she's like, I didn't know you were. I should have known that you were the cunning type.
Cunning, perhaps. I'm not really a schemer, but a good idea does hit me once in a while.
Would have liked to seen you when you were younger days when you pranked your brother.
I wasn't usually the one for the pranks so much.
Oh, was it the trying to magic him up into the air, was it?
No, that's not really my style. I'm not really an agent of chaos.
No. But it's fun to be a little chaotic sometimes.
I prefer order.
I mean, I'd rather order as well, but you can have chaos in the order.
She seems kind of disinterested in the conversation.
Mm.
Well, I have much to do, and I'm sure that you have much things to see in the town. Um,
Thank you for showing me this. It was wonderful.
of course.
And I'd love to hear from you some other time. It was nice getting to know you. And she bows and does the kisses her hand and then stands up.
She kind of nods and then she gets back to her work on one of the wands. Okay, so do you guys want to go into town, see if you're able to buy anything?
I doubt it. I'm poor.
Well, so I already did the math, so I'm just gonna assume when people started talking about store and everything, Aster spent the night just kind of getting
What? Sorry.
Uh-oh.
He froze.
Oh.
Unlucky.
getting the money together. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that in the Roll20. So everyone gets I covered it up. 2 platinum pieces, 183 gold, and 52 silver, and I left 1 platinum in the bag.
So
And you can exchange, silver and stuff now that you're in a town or in a city. I mean, so
wait,
if you want to if you want to convert it to gold, you can do that.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. And I put it in the chat.
Yeah.
So 10 silver pieces is 1 gold. So if you want to convert that, you can.
2 platinum and 183 gold.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Because I know everyone wanted to go shopping.
We got some money.
A little bit.
I just need to finish doing.
I think all Bodhi would want is to refill rations and then maybe a couple healing potions.
Aster has, I think he just wants like 2 main things.
Well, I was going to get some healing potions as well.
Yeah.
Okay. You go to Miley's Mystical Goods. She has mostly potions, a few other things, and she can sell you. You're just gonna do regular healing potions, or do you want greater healing potions?
How much is greater healing with our discount?
Let's see here.
It's a lot.
Let me pull
You don't
something
know
up.
how much our discount is.
It's like 10%.
Oh, that's not bad. That's nice. Aster's still like, that's nice.
Let's see here. Where is it? Here we are. Okay. Is it?
I feel like we were about to buy out like all the stuff in her shop.
Let me. Oh no, definitely not. You can't afford everything in the shop.
No.
Well, we're gonna make her happy.
You can get like a few things. Let's see here.
What's in our budget? How about we start?
Healing. Like
I
if
mean,
you want to
something
if you want to get some of the bigger ticket items, you guys will have to pool money and like get
Yeah,
one
I'm saying,
nice thing for one person.
Lower. What?
Just a second. Potion of healing.
I just love it. It's just like, what can we afford?
Yeah, what's the bargain
Yeah,
bin?
yeah, that is uncommon.
I feel like you need to get healing potions more than anything.
So greater
Yeah,
healing
but we
is
have 3 healers.
greater healing is on 150. So you would get, I guess, some 15 gold off of that.
Yeah. So that'd be 135.
Yeah.
I'll buy one.
Okay.
And how much are regular healing?
Regular healing are 50. So that's gonna be 45.
I'll buy 2 regular.
Add that to your sheet. You can just drag it from the compendium. Let's see here. She's also got a bag of holding, a cap of water breathing, deck of illusions, decanter of endless water, a drift globe. So you got a potion of climbing, a potion of fire breath. Let's see here. Potion of healing and greater healing. Potion of resistance. Potion of water breathing. Wand of magic missiles. Wand of the war mage +1. And she has other things that are definitely beyond your price range that I won't even mention.
One?
Let's see. That's uncommon. That is 200 gold pieces.
I can afford that.
So what's the war mage one you're getting?
It gives you +1 to spell attack rolls, and then you avoid up to half cover, I think.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Aster just kind of like walks up and like he's kind of doing like the awkward thing where he's like putting his fingers together. He goes, this is kind of personal. And like he kind of leans in. He goes, like, do you have like something that, you know, makes me like less heavy, so I can, float.
Float.
Like a butterfly?
Interesting.
Yeah.
Could be.
Like out of character, like I think he's looking for like I think there's like a something of levitation or something, so that he can float around and not be as
Oh.
heavy.
Yeah. Let's see here.
So I'm looking to figure out what I did with my pen. Oh, there you go.
Maybe if you found the item that you're looking for, Zach could at least know what you're talking about.
I think it's a ring of levitate, but I don't.
I thought Aster was going to look for a love potion that worked on dragons.
You cannot afford any rings. Rings are expensive.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. I found it's boots of levitation, but I guess it's the same.
Oh.
It says
Okay.
it's a rare.
Oh yeah, that's beyond
Yeah,
you.
we're not. Yeah.
No common range.
Yeah. Yeah, and she doesn't have it.
Was there anything else good for Rowan, or just the one to War Mage? I forgot.
There's also you can also go to Thranduil's Wondrous Items. He has some other things that might be interesting to you guys.
Ooh, I will check that out before I
What
go.
was it? What was it again?
Boots of Levitation.
Well, no.
The
Like,
name of the shop.
what do we have?
Oh, wait, what?
No. What kind of items do we have again? What kind of what's the list of items that are available to us?
Okay.
Shopping episode.
I'll
Oh yeah, we do have stuff to sell.
Oh yeah,
Shopping
that's right.
episode.
Oh right.
Yeah, we got like a bunch of pendants and such. I think.
Alright, Rowan cracks his knuckles. Power shopping time.
Get those
Okay,
persuasion rolls ready.
That's Miley's Mystical Goods, and then that's in the chat. And let's see here.
Let's see what's
And
in there.
then Thranduil has Adamantine Breastplate, Mithril Armor, +1 weapons, +1. Well, I don't know if he has +1 to armor for like leather and studded leather and things like that. Bag of Holding.
Wait, I think I have this one.
Elven Chain, Boots of Elvenkind, Boots of the Winterlands, Bracers of Archery, Cloak of Protection, Drift Globe. He has a Potion of Healing and Greater Healing, and a Wand of Secrets. And he has more stuff that you definitely can't buy.
Oscar would like to buy like 4 of the like regular healing potions.
Okay, 45 gold each.
How much is the Boots of Elvenkind?
That is.
Don't you already have magic boots?
I don't.
No, I don't think so.
Oh wait, no, I do. I have slippers of
Someone has
Yeah,
Spider
you have
Glass.
you have slippers of spider cleanse. You had to give those up.
Yeah. No, I'm good. I'm good.
But boots of Elvenkind.
Boots of Elvenkind are going to be 250.
Okay.
But
If
then
I
you
give you
get
invisibility, you can't be noticed.
Braces of archery could also be good for Lucia.
Yeah.
By the way, you can still, depending on the, it depends on like the area, but you even as invisible, you can leave visual cues for where you are.
Yeah.
But
So like,
isn't Bracers
so,
of
Make
so
it
like
harder.
if you're in, yeah, make it harder. I'm just saying you're not like,
Oh yeah, you're not.
it's not impossible to find you.
Not
Yeah,
completely
well,
undetectable, but it's pretty close.
Bracers
Yeah.
of Archery? How much are those?
Bracers of Archery,
I can't order
that
this.
is 250.
250.
250, but you get a little bit of a discount, so that's like 25
Oh,
off.
actually,
225.
So, yeah, 225.
you should get those, 'cause
225?
then you can use a longbow.
Yeah, no, but so I have 124 right now. If we sold the gems, I could totally afford it.
Right.
I'll chip in some platinum so you can get the bracers too.
Right, I have 2
What's
platinum
your
as
plan,
well.
Daddy?
So
Did you guys
Rain.
did you guys want to go to a jeweler and try and sell some gems first before you buy stuff?
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah. What does
Okay.
one platinum equal again?
10 gold.
10 gold. Okay.
And then like there's extra platinum that's left over that's in like the group thing. So like if you want to do something that's there. I just didn't want to try to divide up like 11 gold 5 ways.
Yeah, no. That's. I think 1 platinum. Just like keep it there for now. It's.
But I did get my
Okay.
potions, so that's that.
I think it's good to have at least potions around us, because if Micah goes down, one of us needs to put a potion into him.
I can heal Micah, and so can the paladin.
Yes, but
Well,
okay, but
if all three of you
guys,
go
If all
down,
3 of us go down, we've done something wrong already.
okay, but
Right.
if you guys have no spell slots, also,
If that happens, we don't deserve to get up.
I mean, it's good to have healing potions. It's good for like. It's also good for non-healers to have healing potions in case all of the healers are down. If all of the healers are down, like, what do you do?
like,
Yeah.
say, from 1 breath weapon attack.
Yeah.
I mean, also, like, when you guys were, like, pretty much down in the spiders, like, Bodhi could have, like, done and pretty much put a healing potion in one of you.
It's
So.
Okay, so
It's too hard.
what did you guys find at the Ettercaps?
I got it. Uno momento.
Uno momento.
As I figure out which thing this is on. Oh, here we go. Bio. All right. So we have from the Eder Caps. It looks like we sold that stuff. Now from the Dragon Den, we still have a bunch of magical stuff. We have an amber bracelet, a garnet ring, a jade necklace, a coral necklace, a coral bracelet, a wait, I can just put this in the.
Did he give you
Sorry,
GP
talking.
values when he gave you these?
No, because
No, he just said it was from the Green Dragon.
nobody tried to ascertain that.
Is anyone good at inspecting jewels for value?
I didn't take the criminal background, so no.
Okay, so
Yes,
you guys head over to the jewelers. Let's see.
Oh wait, are
Yes?
they more than a century old?
um, perhaps. What is that? All you know is like history about it.
No, it says you can determine the monetary value of art objects more than a century old.
Oh, there
That
you
is
go.
very specifically useful.
Well,
Interesting.
I'm like, if it's historical stuff, I can go like, oh yes, this is fascinating. This is obviously worth like 50 bajillion gold.
Sir, did you
And
turn
then,
off your video?
no,
Yeah, I would say
Is it?
that some of these, I would give you advantage on for these. I would give you advantage on like an investigation check. For other things, I'll just let you know the value. It just depends on like how old they are and if it's something historical or if it's just like old. It doesn't necessarily mean, I don't know. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Well,
Uh,
then it must do.
So this is an investigation check.
yes, with advantage.
Okay.
Nice.
Ooh.
I honestly was
Okay.
not expecting that.
Literally, not 20 to not 1. Amazing.
Okay, let's see here.
Ollie, you added my 2 platinum, right?
Not right now. Wait, to my gold? Because I haven't,
He gave
So
you
okay,
some
so
platinum.
I
all of that jewelry is together is worth 500 gold pieces for all of that. For the amber bracelet, garnet ring, jade necklace, coral necklace, and bracelet, and pearl necklace. Do you want to sell all of them?
Yes.
there's nothing magic.
Okay.
Is there? Wait, you
Wait.
should ask Micah if it's anything magical about it.
Can you detect magic?
I think we already
I thought
determined
we did.
that they weren't.
right.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Did we?
No.
I thought we
So the jeweler offers you 250 gold for all of that jewelry.
Can I clap Rowan on the back and cast guidance and say, let's try to get a good price?
Can I also subtly detect dots to see if
Sure.
anything?
Sure.
I'll do that.
Okay, so he offers you 250 gold.
Does it seem like he's willing to go?
Absolutely not. He's giving you a very good price.
He probably is, especially with the 10%.
No,
But it's worth 500.
No, you don't get 10% here. That's
Yeah, that's only on buying.
you're selling. So yeah.
You're giving us a good price on these, right?
Of course.
Okay, and if that's what he thinks, then I'll take it.
And then
You
also had 5 gemstones, I think. Yes.
We did.
Yeah, go ahead and these are not like ancient or whatever. I don't know. They're not historical at all. So someone can make a investigation check if they want.
I'll make it because
I'll guide you.
Guide me and also help me.
Oh my god, investigation. Guidance.
Okay, what'd you
I
get?
didn't even need it.
Got advantage and 22, so 24.
They're each worth 50 gold pieces. 5, 10, 15, 20. Okay, so and he offers you 25 gold pieces each for each of them. So that's
Okay. Yes, half the price. Yep.
How many are there?
5.
There's 5.
Alright,
So
125.
Okay,
And-
so
So all
And-
together 375.
Was there anything else that you want to sell from your stash?
Yes. Give me one sec. We also had a longbow, swords, lyre, a flute, and a lute.
The lute might be the bardic instrument.
No, that's separate. I got
Okay.
that in here.
Okay.
Okay, so 375. I'm going to say 375. I'm going to minus something. Because it's 225 for the thing.
So for 375 is the total for selling all the gems and the jewelry. Is that what you were asking?
No, I'm minusing for the bracers.
Oh,
So wait.
Where is that?
Is the adamantine breastplate pretty?
Oh yes, very pretty.
I just need 61 gold from that.
It prevents critical hits. That's what it does.
And I have this
just
elven
need
chain.
So I'm going to take 61 gold from the 375 we just got. So
How much gold?
I think we each can take
It's
75, and it would be split even.
Yeah.
Bodhi said.
Oh.
It's 75 each.
Okay.
So just take the whole 75.
Okay. Cool.
Are we selling this longsword and longbow?
it's basically like the odds and ends like the dragon had.
Yeah.
I'll take a longbow now.
So what were the instruments again?
So there's a lyre, a flute, and a lute.
So it's a lyre.
Okay.
Oh, what I said.
Got it.
Lyre.
You calling me a liar?
A
It's
lyre.
not the king lyre. It's
Yeah, you go somewhere
Liar.
else and you're offered 15 gold for the lyre, 15 gold for the lute, and let's see here. 5 silver for the flute.
Wait, so it's 15 gold and then 5 silver?
15 for the lyre and 15 for the lute.
Gold or
and
silver?
then gold. And then the flute is 5 silver.
Keep the flute so you can pull out Lizzo solos.
Right. I would like to
let's
keep the flute. I'm gonna learn it.
Okay.
We're keeping the
You're good at
flute.
learning things, right, Micah?
So 30 gold.
Supposed to be.
Okay. And let's see here. What else were you selling?
think a longsword.
The longsword. Well, it just said swords. You mentioned
Okay.
swords.
They're from the dragons.
Well, you wrote down a longsword, so you took one longsword.
Yeah.
And then Lucia wants the longbow, so we'll keep that.
Well, now that I have the bracers of archery,
You bought them? Nice.
yeah, I bought them because
The longsword you can sell for 5 gold. Is there a longbow you were selling?
No,
A
just
normal
a longsword.
longbow? Just a longsword. Okay.
Yeah.
Is that it?
Yes. You said 5? Or
5 gold.
5. Okay.
Yep.
We had those 4 pairs of fancy clothes, right?
Mm-hmm.
maybe we should keep that just in case we have to go to somewhere.
A dinner party.
Fancy party.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, 2 of them are dresses, so one of us will have to go in drag.
You know, Lucia's. I mean, also, she
You
likes
could
it better, to be honest.
you could sell the dresses if nobody wants them.
We could also just get them tailored into suits.
No, you can't. I mean,
You could totally,
That's
you
a
could
lot
totally
of
use,
reverse engineering.
no.
you could totally use.
It would be better. Trust me. This is what I trained in. This is what I went to college for. I know
I
this.
know, but couldn't you use
I
the
mean,
fabric?
I mean, you can use some of the fabric to create part of a garment, but not like part of an outfit, but like not like you can't reverse engineer it to make a completely
No,
new.
I mean, I totally get that, but I meant, like, can't you use, like,
Because you're losing fabric.
right, okay.
Because it's already been cut, so you can use it and create something else. But like instead of like creating so if you're using it, you got a dress, right? You can use some of that fabric to create maybe like a vest and maybe a shirt, but that's not a whole outfit, you know. So you can like use some of it to like create half of an outfit, like because it's already been cut, and also depending on how the dress is, like let's say that they have a lot of panels in it, that means you're not going to be able to really create anything
See
from
what
it.
happens when you hit
Right.
Mirror Volley?
It depends on how many times the fabric has been cut and like how small the pattern pieces are. So yeah.
I'm sorry, I was thought using the fabric. I was just recycling.
So like I said, you can use it to create part of an outfit, but not a whole.
Maybe you can make a shirt out of it.
Yeah, you can make a shirt.
Asu would just like chime in as we're talking about like dresses.
But
and
it would probably be better to just sell it and then
Yeah, no.
buy stuff from it. Like
Yeah.
you're gonna
Right,
get
right,
you're
right,
gonna get more bang for your buck to just sell it.
Also, that was pretty much out of character, Timo. Not in character.
I was just gonna suggest like maybe you could buy some nice things for a certain someone and like give her the dresses.
It didn't go well this morning. Just
What did you say
it's
this
fine.
time?
Also, she is very rich, so like you imagine she has a great wardrobe.
Well. What do you get the woman who has everything?
Exactly.
Your heart. Your heart.
Oh man.
I'm just not her type. That's all.
I don't know that for
Make
sure.
yourself her type.
I don't have to make myself anything.
Yeah, in true dating sim fashion, just change your answers until she responds favorably.
Oh
It's called a pro
dear.
gamer.
I love myself. I don't have to change myself for anyone else.
Damn
Lucia.
right.
Keep telling yourself that.
So Lucia just like rolls her eyes and whispers to Micah, he doesn't know that I actually hooked up with someone in town.
Gasp! A
Back
scandal.
check. Do an insight check, Micah.
Well, my passive insight's 18, but I would like to do an insight check. It's not that I don't trust you, I'm just curious.
Did she? I don't remember her hooking up with
That's what
anyone.
I'm saying.
No, not in this town. I meant it
In
when
another town, you've never heard of it. It's not on any map. She doesn't like pictures.
I
Here's,
meant
here's the funny part. I was gonna say, she lives in Canada, but then I was like, oh yeah, you live in Canada.
I believe you, Lucia.
Says the person
I
with
meant
negative insight.
I meant when he was we before
When I
we
wasn't
went to
around, it
the
was not
country.
even close to.
Before the campaign started, yeah,
Yeah, before the campaign started.
I believe that. That sounds.
Yeah.
Totally.
Oh my goodness. Okay, so you want to sell the gowns? Yes.
Yes.
Yes. We're
So you
selling the pretty dresses.
okay, you can sell them both for 5 gold, so 10 gold total for the two of them.
I can't believe you were about to say she lives in Canada.
Yeah. Well, I thought it just because that's what people say.
Yeah,
Like
I
here,
know.
well, like if you're in high school and you're like, oh, well, I have a girlfriend. Oh yeah, where or a boyfriend. Where do they live? Oh, they're in Canada.
Canada.
That's always the go-to.
Because Canada's not a real place.
No, because it's like the one of the
How many
closest.
how many people here have been to Canada besides the one person who lives there?
It's the
You've been to
closest.
Canada?
It's
Okay.
the closest English-speaking country to the United States. That's why.
Where in Canada did you go to? Just curious.
Montreal.
Mm.
I like. I mean, Montreal's okay. But the only thing that I really liked about Montreal was there's like a botanical garden there that's absolutely amazing. But other than that, I wasn't like super impressed with it. But I love Quebec City. Quebec City is amazing. If you've ever been there, it's super cool.
I want to go to Toronto and Vancouver.
I
Van-
live in Vancouver.
oh, cool. Vancouver is my plan B for my life. So
What goes wrong?
plan A is learn German and go to school there, and hopefully stay somewhere in Europe after I graduate from my bachelor's. And then if that doesn't work out, then I'm gonna learn, maybe become a hairstylist, and then once I've gotten
I love how we're saying this all on stream.
yeah, I'm gonna live in Vancouver.
The most interesting thing he said so far.
There you go. So, where were we?
So Micah had just rolled to see if Ali,
Offended.
if
Oh.
Lucia was
We
telling
already
the
cleared
truth.
that up.
Yeah,
And then everyone was very excited about putting on the dresses, and then we decided that instead of putting on the dresses, we were going to sell the dresses.
yes.
And then you said to Lucia, why don't you give it to her? And she was like, and then we had the virgin thing, and that's how it digressed.
So,
I said so quietly.
No, you didn't.
So Lucia bought the braces of archery.
How much is the wand of missiles?
Wand of magic missiles. Oh, by the way, I'm gonna have a new thing where with wands you can upcast only so far as
That's
your
not new. You've got that
level
before.
will allow. Okay, yeah, I'm just checking because like I
I'm just
think it's
reiterating it. You've
yeah,
said it before.
I just think it's crazy that like first level, if you got like a wand of magic missiles,
You can
could
cast it at 6th level. Yeah.
7th level.
Yeah.
So,
Whatever.
yeah, no.
So I can only because I only have level 2 spell slots, I can only upcast it to level 2.
That's correct.
Yeah.
Okay. That would be 250 gold. So technically, that's 225.
I will take it.
Okay. You're taking that and the mage.
No, I can only afford one, so I'm only gonna take the missile one.
Okay.
I would almost think the War Mage one was more useful.
I think I think that as well.
I don't have that many attack spells, is the thing.
Well, it's not just attack spells; it's your saving throws as well.
No, it's not. Or is that what you're allowing?
Let me look it up. I'm
That's
pretty
not
sure
the
it's
original
cool.
one. No, you're thinking of the Rod of the Packkeeper.
Wand of the War Mage. +1. Let me see here.
It doesn't even add to your damage rolls, only attack rolls.
+1 bonus to attack rolls, in addition to your hair. Oh, I guess you're right, huh?
You're thinking of Rod of the Packkeeper, that increases your DC.
Yeah. It does both, though.
But also,
Yeah, Rod of the Packkeeper.
you're about to level up, probably, hopefully, and then your cantrips will like be just as effective as magic missiles.
No, because magic missiles hit no matter what,
That's true.
and it saves me a spell slot.
Also, he's just pretty much a druid. Just let him get his magic missiles.
Okay, so
So it's 225.
225.
Cool.
Can
Wait,
I
so how-
stop?
Go ahead.
Go ahead. No, you go
No,
ahead.
you go. You
No,
go.
you.
No, yeah.
Stop it! Don't
I was like,
Canadian.
why don't you talk?
Okay.
I just
you
want
do
to stop
that
at
Canadian-
Thranduil's to see if he
you
would
do
be
the
willing to
Canadian
trade
standoff.
my elven chain and my chain shirt for adamantine breastplate.
Actually,
Off the back.
before I make a terrible mistake, sorry. The Wand of the War Mage, not the one, not the Wand of the War Mage, the other one, the
One
magic
magic
missile.
missile.
Sorry, that is actually 300. Sorry, so that
Okay.
is. So that's 270. Yeah.
I was 225, so I have to add 45, I think.
Okay. Did anybody want to get anything else?
I want weapons.
Yeah.
I want to be
Didn't
violent.
John? Didn't Micah just say he wanted to trade in his elven shirt and chain?
Yeah, I wanted to see
yeah.
if Thranduil would be willing to trade my elven chain and my chain shirt for the adamantine breastplate.
See here. And Sovelis is actually the one who runs the store. He goes, "Oh please,
Okay.
Thranduil was my grandfather." Let's see here.
Uh-oh.
Who knows?
Let's see here. You can get 500 gold for your elf chain.
Wow.
You're rich.
Wait a second. Okay, so the elven chain gives me armor class 14 plus my 2 decks. So the adamantine armor or breastplate would give me 14 plus 2 decks, right?
Let me see here.
I mean, that's someone else wants the elven chain to be proficient with medium armor, so I don't want to sell it if someone else can use it.
Mansion armor. Why does it say what? I think it's under. Okay. Okay. Yeah. So the thing about Elven Chain is that it requires no proficiency in armor.
Right. So if anyone else on our team can use it, I won't sell it. But if no one else wants it, then I would like to trade it for the adamantine breastplate.
Sure. Yeah, you can do that. So yeah, it's just basically a breastplate, but you can't be hit by a critical. Like if it's a critical hit, it just is a normal hit.
Right. And it's an even trade?
It's an even trade. Okay, so go ahead and pull that over, or let's see here. And then, did anybody else want to buy something or sell something or anything?
So just a quick question. Have we sold the dresses already or no?
Yes.
How much were they?
You got 10 gold from both. Like selling both of them gave you 10 gold.
Oh, we had 4 of them though.
No, there
Two
was
were
two.
suits.
Two were suits, so you were
We're
keeping
keeping
those.
Keep the suits. Keep
Oh,
the
okay.
suits.
Okay. All
Can I
right,
sell
so
my
good.
chain shirt?
Just normal chain shirt. Yeah, sure.
Just 'cause
Let's
it's
see
heavy.
here.
So 10 divided by 5, everyone gets 2.
Where is it?
I think the chain shirt it cost 50 gold.
Okay, yeah. So you're gonna get 20 gold for the chain shirt.
Works for me. Thank you.
I'm gonna look around and ask everyone. Do you all have 100 gold?
No.
For
What's it for?
What's
Well, I
up?
think we should invest in a bag of holding.
We
We
already
already
have
have
one.
one.
Oh, we do?
Look how pretty it looks with Micah's outfit.
Can I hold it
Just
up?
just keeping in mind, the bag of holding is the size. It can carry the size of a safe. So people often think that bags of holding are basically endless Mary Poppin bags. They're not actually. So that's about the size of like a mini fridge. So anything that you could fit inside of like a mini fridge. So for instance, like a great sword, you're never gonna get inside of a bag of holding. It's too long.
Oh.
It won't fit. So just keep that in mind. And so like it can hold like a lot of weight, but like it is only so there's only so much size of it. So it might be useful to have 2. So it's like, do you want 1 mini fridge or 2 mini fridges? It's up to you.
I think we can try to make do with one for now.
We can make
think
do with
so.
one for now.
I think Aster. The only 2 things Aster wants from like when it comes to weapons is like, and he's not quite sure like how to do it, but like the like a javelin of returning, I guess, like some way like to throw his javelin and actually have it come back so that he's not running out of javelins.
Remember
Oh,
don't forget that you have a ranged spell that's a cantrip now.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Oh, yep. Okay. All right. So I'm good. And then
Yeah.
I was also just trying to say I have the belt of returning.
And then,
Mhm.
well, it wouldn't work with the javelin.
It wouldn't work, yeah, because it needs to like go fasten to the belt. So like a hand axe or a dagger are probably the only things that would work with that.
And then the only other thing would be like see if they have a +1 splint armor.
No, it's very difficult to find metallic armor that is that has bonuses to armor class beyond that.
Thanks, Dylan.
That's not the reason why. Don't trust me. That's not the reason why.
I think it is actually. I can't.
It is? Wait, no. I thought
Consideration.
there was another
Was there?
reason.
Maybe there was. I can't remember.
Zach, did you turn
It's
off your
not.
video?
What?
Did you turn off your video?
Oh, I'm sorry. No, it's I went off and I
Oh,
forgot
okay.
to put.
It's fine.
Yeah, I did
Yeah.
that too.
So the only other thing I can think of is Micah has a cloak of protection, right? That matches the purse.
Do I?
Yeah.
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 You have a cloak of
Did you write that
protection.
down?
No, I didn't.
You have a cloak of protection, man.
What does
Did you
that
add
do?
You get
You have
+1
+1
to AC and +1 to all saving throws.
Yeah, if you just drag it from the compendium, it'll automatically up your saves in your armor class.
So I was thinking, do we want to?
That's
How
why
much
you have a
is-
19 armor class you're supposed to have.
How much is the cloak of protection that was for sale?
Is there one for sale?
Let's see here.
Yeah, I think I was at Miley's.
Okay.
Yeah, it is.
Let's see here.
It's in the second set. Hold on.
Oh, then the other one
Oh
then.
yeah, the other one. Yeah, it is there. I see it.
That one is 350.
I literally don't have any more gold with the bracers of. Well, I do. It's 14 gold and 11 silver, but it's really not worth it to pull our gold right now for me.
Bodhi, did you want one? The cloak of protection?
I mean, I could also see you giving it to Aster.
Aster
someone
kind of
wants?
like in character. Aster would kind of like pat you on the shoulder, and go like, "If I get hit, I'm okay. If you get hit, you're not okay." One cape of protection, thingy of protection.
I was gonna say, if someone wants it, I'll help buy it.
Do you guys want to buy it? So that's 350. So that's 35.
So
off.
I have 210 gold.
I'll give you
Oh
200.
yeah, you haven't
towards
bought
it.
anything yet, have you? Bodhi?
Yeah.
So I guess that's 315 with the discount.
Correct.
So then I'll pay for the rest of Bodhi's thing out of my purse.
No, I was gonna do it.
No, I'm doing it.
You can't have a cloak of protection
Oh my
and not help
God.
someone else get one. That's just
Stop
rude.
having the Canadian standoff.
Okay, so I got my calculator out. How much is it? It's 300 and what?
300. It's 315 once you factor in the discount.
Okay, and then Bodhi has how much?
I have 215.
215. All right, so then Aster like plots down 100 gold to like pay for the rest of it. Oh.
Aster and I buy it for Bodhi.
What color is it?
It's sort of like a forest green, but with like a bronze shimmer to it. It's sort of like iridescent. Somewhere. So sometimes it looks more green and sometimes it looks more bronze. It depends on the way the light hits it.
You totally made that up on the spot.
Of course I
What's wrong
did.
with that?
I can
I'm
wear
good
it.
at improv.
Yeah, I know. He actually has a list of what color each of our cloak of protections would be. He thought about it last night.
So it's good for both spring and fall. That's perfect.
Yeah.
How much was that one of War Mage again?
That one was 200, I think, or was it 2? It was slightly. I think it was slightly above 200. It was like, I think with discount, I think it ended up being 225. Or was it? No. It was 200, and then with discount, it's like 180.
80. Okay. Does anyone?
Okay. So just out of character. So math-wise, Bodhi, you only need to take out 50 gold from yours. So then, Micah's paying in 200, and then I'm paying in 100. Oh no, that's just 15 then. Yeah. All right. So yeah. So like you only have to pay 15 gold. Micah and I just basically pay for your cape of protection.
All right, can I try to slip 10 platinum into each of their pockets?
I'm sorry to observe it.
Make a sleight of hand check. Nice. I think that works. Yeah. Their passive perception is not 18.
No.
So.
The only one that would have, I think Lucia sees that and is just like,
You said 10 gold or 10
Thank you for your generosity.
It was platinum, 10 platinum, right?
Yeah.
Damn
so
it.
that's 100 gold basically.
Yeah.
Hey,
yeah.
who can loan me?
Be sure and add 10 platinum to your sheets, Micah and Aster.
Who can loan me 30 gold so I can buy this War Mage wand? Bruh.
I can help. I'll give 30 towards. I know, it was just funny the silence. No, don't worry about it.
It's not that, it's that I'm broke.
Yeah, I'll put O's 30 gold to Micah.
Okay.
No, I will give you 30.
He has to, because otherwise he'll yell at you.
He can yell at me all he wants.
He's paying me to yell at him.
Wouldn't be the first time.
You know what? Just because I'm just gonna I want to buy this alchemy jug.
Alchemy jug?
Sure.
Oh my god.
How much is it? It's 400. Oh, it's 400. Wait, do I have money for this?
Is that right?
How many gold is in a platinum?
So it's 10.
10.
It's always 10. 10 is
Okay.
always the exchange rate. So 10 10 copper to 1 silver, 10 silver to 1 gold, 10 gold to 1 platinum.
Oh, okay.
And
Yep,
then there's
got money.
I don't use Electrum in this world, but in there's also
Why
Electrum
would you?
apparently,
Electrum
and,
is stupid.
Electrum is
it's
so
like
Electrum is
stupid.
so stupid.
and it like breaks the pattern. It's like 5 Electrum is like 1 gold or something. No, I forget.
Okay.
Anyways, it's
There's
That's
no
so
purpose
weird.
to it.
yeah,
Oh,
it's just odd
It's
thing
like a
out. It's
$2
weird.
bill. Or a $30 bill.
Yeah.
but like,
So I do not have the
Kindle.
money for that.
Okay, that'd be weird though, right, Zach?
What would be weird? Sorry.
Him getting the Warforged, getting the Alchemy Judge, season
Oh,
1.
that's fine. Actually, I think we could do a similar thing. That would be funny. Well, I mean, maybe if we find the right person, then we can do that. That'd be fun. But
Oh,
yeah,
backstories.
yeah, no, but
Spoilers.
yeah,
Spoils. Okay, so I think the only other thing is I'm just assuming like we're all like just shopping, so it's not like us running back and forth between the different places. Like regular javelins.
yeah. You can get a regular javelin. Let's see here. Remember, you do have a ranged spell. Just saying.
Yeah, I have a thing about numbers, and I have three javelins left, and I want 5.
Sure.
It's an odd thing for
Javelin.
me, but I need it.
You could have picked them up, couldn't you?
Oh, oh, can I?
Yeah, I mean,
Oh,
as long as like you're not like running away. Like if you're running away from a battle, then you'll
For
have to
like
choose. But like,
tracking,
but as long
yeah.
as like yeah, as long as you've like won the battle, then yeah, you can pick them up.
Okay, I'm
yes, like
fine then.
for tracking of ammo in that, Zach is pretty chill on stuff
Yeah.
like
Okay.
that.
So I would say with thrown weapons, it is a bit more, like you have to keep track of that. But yeah, for ammo, not so much. But yes, for thrown weapons because there's fewer of them.
All right. Well, I have enjoyed our shopping day. I'm
I
think
think
I'm
Lucia is
done.
just going to go to a tavern now and just like get a glass of wine and like read a book.
That's what
Sure.
I want to do. I want to
Let's go ahead and take a 5 minute break. And
Mm.
we will be back in 5 minutes because I need to get some more food. I'm hungry.
I
okay.
need to go to the washroom, so I'll be back.
Go for it.
Alright.
stop the audio. There we go. Okay, now we're
Okay,
being heard.
we're back.
Yeah.
Well, people could see
Cool.
our faces. That's cool.
Yeah, they could have seen our faces, but unless they read lips.
Yeah.
Like Lucia does.
I don't think audio's working because I'm listening to it and
It should be
nothing's
working now.
coming out.
I just
We
turned it
do
on.
late.
Yeah, it's working for me.
Okay, maybe I should just.
It's working for me.
Oh, I heard.
I just heard it. Just
I thought I
switched.
had my speaker set to my headset. I'm so sorry.
No, you're fine.
Have y'all been hearing my computer noises this whole time then?
No, just now.
No,
Oh,
Just
okay,
now.
good.
it's all
Okay.
good, young Micah.
There we go. Yeah, so we're all good. You guys have a lovely day of shopping. Did you want to do anything else here?
I was just going to the tavern to read.
Did you want to do anyone else?
Aster would go to the bookstore, just because.
Oh, wait. Yeah, I said I would go to the bookstore with him. So, yeah, I'll take him to the bookstore.
Would you go to the bookstore?
I would actually go back to Orlin and ask him what he knows about the Blighter Queen.
I'll go with Bodhi.
He tells you that you probably meet up with him at lunchtime, and he lets you know that blighters are druids who have forsaken their vows to nature and instead draw life and vitality from the land and the creatures around them to prolong their own lives. And that's about all he knows about blighters. But he says that you might be able to find out more in Solinor.
How far is Solinar?
They have a teleportation circle that they can use to get there.
How convenient.
Mm-hmm.
I'm down with it.
Mm-hmm.
Let's travel for us.
Mm-hmm. But let me show you on the map where it is, just so you kind of get an idea for where you are and where, all this is. Let's see here. Okay. Can you guys see it, or is it still loading?
You can see.
I can see it.
Okay, so Vardenolda is here. So just to give you an idea, you guys were let me use this thing instead. Well, no, that's not gonna be helpful. So you guys were in Norenwald, about like right here. You came to the edge of Noladon, and then you went through a little transportation thing, which teleported you to Vardenolda here on the sea. It's in this little cove area, and then you will be able to be teleported to Solinor, which is over here. It's the Wood Elf Kingdom of Silvestre. You also know that the amulet of the warrior is in Thoraban, the capital of Thorbur, which is right over here, the Dwarven Kingdom, in the north. And then you know that the over here is Valinor, and that is where, and in the Silver City of Varnor, which is the capital, one of the 7 towers of the University of the Seven Towers is where the amulet of the Arcanist is. So yeah.
It seems okay. Cool.
We'll try to find Lady Eleonora, or whatever her name is.
Elania. Let's see. Yeah, she's in her workshop.
I had to workshop.
Okay, you knock on the door. She lets you in, and she goes, no, and I'm a bit busy right now. Maybe another time. No, but I have some research that I'm doing. It's very important.
Can I ask you a quick question?
Mm-hmm.
I heard my sister visited. Did she put her foot in her mouth again?
No. I'd like to be alone.
Okay. Bye.
Goodbye.
Bye, Lisa.
Okay.
Worth the effort.
Just, I was like,
You've done more harm than good. That's all I'll say.
That's fair.
Most like lackluster effort. Just like, how'd it go? Bad? Okay.
wait, what?
I don't know. I can't
Aster,
count her
wait,
decks.
I'm not there. That was out of character.
yeah, that was out of character. Aster is with me right now.
Yeah.
So we should probably head off.
Okay, so what's going on at the bookstore?
Oh, so I wanted to go to the bookstore so that I could buy like an actual journal and some ink and stuff, so I
Oh,
could
yeah.
actually start like keeping a journal.
Yeah, sure.
So
So that's just like 10 gold or something for like a really nice big journal and lots of supplies of ink and quills and everything.
Is there any like history books?
Yeah, they have some history
Like-
books.
I point to them for Aster and be like, didn't you say you wanted to learn a little bit more about the surroundings around you?
I did. So Aster is going to like look at the history books to see if there's anything that actually hints at Aster Minos at all.
Go ahead and do an investigation check.
I'll help him.
Yay!
No, nothing that you can find that seems to be particularly useful in that endeavor.
I pat Aster on the back and I'm like, Aster, it's not going to be an easy find to find one name. Once we get to possibly a bigger library, we'll find something of maybe use to you, but do not expect a smaller bookstore for right now to have your name in it, the books.
Good. No harm in checking.
No harm, just...
Can Micah check because he knows the Dewey Decimal System and like knows libraries?
Oh, this is not a library. This is a bookstore.
This is a bookstore.
And I think like that would be like his main thing. Like he actually wants to start like keeping track of stuff. And then I guess the only other thing is he would try to find something that I guess like Micah would actually want to read, and then like a book for essentially like he's trying to like get something nice for Micah and Bodhi, but then he realizes giving like Bodhi a book of like dead plants is probably not the best of ideas. So Micah, get a book for Micah.
Okay.
I was gonna pick up like 10 books.
Micah, I just turned to Micah and just am like, I'll borrow one of those books when you are finished with it.
Oh, I got so many. You can borrow any.
Yeah, you find an interesting book on arcane runes that you think would be really interesting for Micah. That'll be 20 gold.
Oh my gosh, that's so much money.
This better be a really good book.
Right?
It is. It's a really good book. Books are expensive, by the way.
It's a book on
I think
arcane
the question
runes.
is Micah worth it?
Alrighty. And I'm just gonna put 20 in gold. Got it.
And then Micah, you can put
You gotta minus it from your total of gold.
yeah. So Micah, you have a book that's entitled Runes of the Ancient.
Ooh, thank you so much, Esther. That's so nice of you.
You're very welcome.
But is it on his required reading list?
It is actually.
Even better.
And I think Aster, while he's buying all this stuff, is gonna slip in like a book about dragons.
Sure.
Is he going to
Okay,
try
but
and
an
sneak
information book
Maybe-
or like a book that you read at night?
Yeah. Are you going to try and sneak it past Lucia?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, she's that perception.
Not
So
the other
you're buying a book on dragons? You said?
Yeah, like hopefully it's like something that pairs well with like the research that the wizard was doing.
Sure. You can go ahead and buy a book on
Yes.
dragons. That will be 15 gold.
So the
He's also trying to
rumor is,
sneak it.
so the
He's
rumor is
also
if
trying
it's
to
not in
sneak it.
Draconian, it's not a good dragon book.
He's also trying to sneak it past Lucia. Does he have to make a sleight of hand check?
Oh, is it as in you just don't want to see her? You don't want her to see you buying it? Is that what you're doing? Okay, that would be more of Hmm. I would say you can do stealth or sleight of hand, your choice.
I'm terrible at both, but let's go with sleight of hand.
Yeah, no, she sees you buying it.
And so, like, random question. I'm assuming that this, like, 15 gold book, I think is what you said.
Uh-huh.
It teaches Draconic.
No.
I look at him and I'm like, you didn't have to sneak that past me. For
See
one.
what?
Yeah,
Don't lie
to learn Draconic, you have to spend oh man, that would be a while. By the book, technically you can learn some of these things in 10 days, but you can't learn a language in 10 days.
You knows.
Maybe
you can't.
I might need to alter my rules for like learning things. But yeah.
Yeah.
Are you sure you're not personifying or projecting?
I mean, this is also
taken me
in a
ye-
fantasy
I
realm, so
know.
like 10 days also for
Oh
us,
no, there are
we do a
4-year-olds that
lot.
speak German, Zach. It might just be you.
Oh, God.
Okay, oh god, just stop
It
it.
took me a year to learn Spanish, but that was because I was like really, really like dedicating a ton of time to it, and it's taken me like 2 years to get where I'm at with German, and I'm not fluent yet. So
Okay.
yeah.
So,
although German is
Oh.
German is so much harder than Spanish.
Look at Micah flexing.
Oh my god.
all Aster is going to, well, I guess all I'm going to say out of character is if I'm spending 15 gold on a book of dragons, it better be a good book.
It's a good book.
Lucia is like, why are you buying a book of dragons?
What book of dragons?
I can see your book. Don't hide it.
What?
Or do you want me to do what I do to Rowan?
Hug him and tell him you love him?
I think you've seen what I did to him in the tavern.
Don't remember.
I don't remember that one. What did you do to him?
I cast fear on him.
Oh, I remember this now. That is something that I would prefer.
It wasn't fear. It was It was like a 1-round fear.
Yeah, but like
the face step.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was my face step, but he doesn't. He saw him get like
afraid for a second.
Afraid like this. I wouldn't suggest you hide stuff against me.
Roll intimidation. kidding.
No, I feel like it's intimidation.
Well, I think that for this, it's up to Aster if he's intimidated or not.
I think like Aster is pretty much already paid for the thing because he's already bought.
Well, he's not. I don't care about you paying for it, but she's hearing that you're trying to hide it from her.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, Lucia's like, you can have secrets, just not from me.
Okay. Well, I think what the fair thing to do then would be if I just read all of your stuff as well. That way it's even.
There is one book she likes to read a lot.
Well, okay. She says, you can't hide stuff from me. That's the problem here.
I have to go places without you then. Come on, Micah, we're going.
Oh, okay.
Good luck with
So Micah has the Book of Arcane stuff. I've got the Book of Dragons, which cool. I got my
Wasn't
fancy
Micah
new
gonna buy
journal
some more
tome.
books, or are you done?
Oh yeah,
I'm
I
going to
just
steal.
like bargain bin, just random books.
Yeah, I'm going to steal the Book of Dragons out of his bag.
Oh, she's doing the rogue shit. The
Oh,
rogue
go ahead
shit
and
that
do.
gets
Go
players
ahead.
exiled.
Go ahead. Go ahead and do it. Sleight of hand.
Dun, 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 dun.
Wasn't this better a rogue?
Oh dear. Yeah.
Oh,
He
Um,
sees your petty attempt to steal it from him.
Emphasis on petty.
Like
Yes.
Aster just looks at you, remembers like the fact that you tried, like you threatened him like less than 2 days ago, and that you're also now trying to steal from him. He just goes like, okay, and he just walks out. Sorry,
I'm not trying to threaten him as much as if he tries to. I looked at Mike. I'm just like, I'm not trying
yes,
to
Bodhi,
threaten him
that
as
was the
much
quote.
as he doesn't. Does he realize if he goes near that dragon, he's going to get collected?
we just have to take him from the dragon slowly over time. You know, baby
Right.
steps away from the dragon. That's what we'll do.
Okay.
Oh, and just because like this is like I guess the first time that Aster really is like doing anything with gold, he finally notices that he has 10 more gold than he really should from when Lucia like stole the gold back. Like, he doesn't know that.
10 more platinum.
Platinum.
That's 100 gold.
Oh, okay. Got it. Cool. All right.
I'll leave it in your hands then, Micah, because you're better at this.
I'll do my best.
Okay. You guys have a nice restful day. And you prepare to be transported. I guess you know what? You guys could transport there this evening, or you could go in the morning. It's up to you. What do you guys want?
Go in the morning.
Okay. You have a lovely breakfast with Lord Orlan. Lady Elania is not present. Seems that she is busy with some.
Oh yeah, no, that's understandable. I totally. Does she at least send back the book I gave her?
Yeah. The book is there. Lord Orlan says, Lady Elania wanted me to return this to you. She said it was quite interesting. But she has had to
No worries.
leave the city to find to further her work in other areas.
Give her my apologies for being so rude to her.
Of course, I will be sure to pass that on.
Wow, the twins ran her out of the city.
I was not doing anything. Rowan was like,
That's what
I'm
you did.
joking.
I was being okay, and then you made it.
No, I tried to save the sinking ship, but it was already.
Zach,
I didn't make a
tell
hole
us
in
straight
that
up.
boat.
You did.
Tell us straight up.
You
I
did.
didn't-
Already sinking.
Okay.
You guys, your characters wouldn't necessarily know this, but Rowan totally ruined it. It was Rowan.
It didn't seem like it was going that well.
Yeah. I mean, it might not have gone anywhere, but like it went downhill because of Rowan's interference.
He didn't really do anything. That's kind of petty.
Yeah, he did.
Eh.
He did.
Yeah, you basically mind talked to this lady saying, "Hey, be sure and have sex with my sister because she hasn't had sex in a while."
Yes.
And so that made her uncomfortable. And then Lucia was okay, but not enough to like really bridge the
Yeah, and she was
damage,
oh.
and then you came in later and were like, hey, did Lucia put her foot in her mouth or whatever, and so she was just
That's
kind of
what she
like,
does usually.
yeah, well, it was not helpful.
I feel like I'm being truthful.
You were not helpful at all. This is why she goes into town by herself.
We'll try again in another town.
Yeah, you were true to character though, which I appreciate.
I'll get inspiration.
No. So yeah. So you guys have a lovely,
God.
you guys have a lovely breakfast. You're escorted to the pagoda. The teleportation circle is under. And let's pull this up. Let's see here. Oops. No, let's see here. Where is it? Giselle. And where is it? Let's see here.
So Micah, how are those new books?
The one on runes is a lot to get through, but the other ones I'm enjoying. The rune one I'm going to take my time with. Really try to soak it in.
I'm glad you like it.
Yes, thank you again, Esther.
Could I borrow the one on what was it called? Yes, the one on cloud movement in the sky. The
Absolutely.
halfling one. Mm-hmm.
I'll hand you the book from the bag of holding that holds all of my books, because I'm greedy.
Let's see here.
See, also I'm just rolling bad today.
Yeah, you rolled pretty
Hey,
shit.
I only rolled once, didn't you?
She's rolled
Oh,
two
no, you rolled
times,
twice.
and they were both
Yeah.
shit.
Oh.
All of my rolls
Oh
have
yeah,
been
even
under
the sleight
like
of hand. So let's see, she had the
I had the sleight of
persuasion,
hand, the persuasion,
the insight, and the sleight of hand.
all of them have been bad.
Even your inspiration was only a 10.
Yeah. I don't know
You
what
like
it is
that?
today.
It's just today, unlucky day. You got some bad juju, you gotta...
Maybe Baz will have a better luck.
Rowan will give you some crystals and be like, fix your chakras.
I think Lucy is the one that's like, I do not believe in luck or energies or
You should really try
that.
meditating.
You guys do every night.
Yeah, we do
I mean
every
non-sleep
night.
meditate. Yeah. You should try some yoga.
Yeah, sorry, I thought that I had. I have to copy and paste this big section because if I do stuff from like the whole thing, like the whole campaign, it loads really slow. And I guess I hadn't done one for Silvestre, so I just need to copy and paste all of Silvestre and make a new thing for it.
Then we'll just RP. Bodhi,
Yeah.
are you going to be okay going in the woods?
Of course. I love the woods.
With the Blighter Queen?
I guess we'll have to find out.
Apparently she's turned her back on the true way.
So if we take her out through the woods heal?
Are the woods
Take
hurt?
both time? They're draining the woods.
Yeah, it
She's
seems
taking
that
energy from them.
she's draining the life of the forest to extend her own.
Out of character, it feels more like necromancy. Then
Um,
It's also blight. It's just, you know.
yeah.
yeah. I think out of character, I think there was like a thing for 3.5 where it's like a blighter class who did that.
There was, and that's kind of what I based it off of.
Nice. Well, not nice, but cool.
Yeah.
Aster, are you feeling okay today?
Yes, I am fine.
Looking a little
Thank
moody.
you for. No, I'm perfectly fine. I'm perfectly fine, young Rowan. Pats
Okay.
him on the back.
What'd you say?
As he just pats you on the back.
Oh, pats you on the back. Oh.
Yeah.
That feels good.
I whisper in Elven. It's because I tried to warn him against trying to not get hide a dragon book from us.
Aster sees Lucia talking to you, and Elvin just kind of like slants his eyes and.
Mention.
So he'll probably get over it soon then. I'll just stay back in Elvish.
Yeah, I'm not too worried. As I just said, Micah can handle it.
Are there like nice trees around like where we were, like the little portal place that we were going?
Yeah.
Are they like the cool mystical trees that were like the blue, teal, and
Yes.
Oh, nice. So
Nice.
Aster would like poke Bodhi and goes like, Bodhi, Bodhi, Bodhi.
Yes?
Are we able to take our horses? I can't remember.
You left your horses at the first place.
Oh, Denton?
You
I
won't.
thought we took them.
Yeah. No, you won't need them anyways. It's fine.
Okay.
They'll just be a hindrance.
We were just renting them, right? So we just probably give them back.
I mean,
Did we buy them?
no, they were given to you.
Yeah.
They were given to us.
Nice. I didn't name him.
No one named their horses.
We should have.
I don't think we probably
I
should
did.
have, but we didn't. Oh, you did.
Yours, Micah.
Alexander.
Oh. Aster is just gonna like talk to Bodhi and just be like, hey, look, mystic trees. Let's talk to them.
I would be interested to see what they're feeling. I have not seen their kind before.
So then, like, Aster just kind of like grabs you and just kind of like pulls you. Go, come on. He's excited about this.
Can I follow? I want to see
Of
it.
course. I can't remember what we decided your abilities were with the trees.
It's just sort of like exchanging sort of thoughts and emotions.
Got it. Okay. You go up to the trees, you touch it, one of them, and you feel a very peaceful calm, and you feel almost like there's this beautiful music that's playing around you, and a sense of peace and eternal song and joy within this tree.
What's it like? What they saying?
This is a good place. There's a sense of peace and harmony. These elves, they know how to be a part of the land and sing with it.
That's so cool.
It is.
Wooden elves tend to know how to be in harmony with the woods, so I'm not surprised. Lucia just like goes, whoop. She just goes silent.
After enjoying the beauty of this garden, which has a great it has sort of a naturalistic order to it. It's clearly like been like cultivated, But it's very like feng shui, like Japanese garden type feel to it, where everything, clearly has been, made to grow a certain way, but it looks very naturalistic and is very calming in the way that it's been put together. And you guys go up onto the teleportation stone. There's a mage there that says that creates the spell that transports you. And your vision kind of blurs around you, and you find yourselves within a massive hollowed tree. Um, and you come out onto these beautiful platforms, um, uh, with these beautiful elven structures that seem to meld with the trees here. The trees themselves here tend to be sort of you know, darker bronze brown, or sometimes even like a little bit of a reddish brown bark, and the leaves themselves are this beautiful green, and some of them are a beautiful gold color. um, let's see here. And then the elven structures themselves that have been built into the trees tend to be either sort of a brown bronze or a gold, or some combination of the two. And most of them seem to have been grown out of the trees themselves, whereas other parts seem to have been formed around them. But whether they were formed around them or grown with them, it's very cohesive and seems to flow with the trees. You see 6 wood elf guards surrounding the teleportation circle, in gleaming sort of bronzed wooden armor. And many of them have green eyes. Some of them have sort of coppery hair, others golden, a few sort of more of a brown color. Um, and there's an elven woman with coppery hair and hazel eyes who meets you. She says, "I am Enefira Solon, second steward to um, King Therendil. Um, we have been informed of your arrival. Please follow me. I will take you to the king."
Thank you so much, and we'll follow her.
I'll
She
bow graciously and follow.
Yeah, I was going to say I bow. I was just distracted because we're trying to find something right now. I was trying to find
Sure.
something.
I didn't bow. I'm rude.
I know. Harrison doesn't bow to anyone. He nods.
Got it. She leads you up some steps that are carved into and around the massive tree that you're upon. You kind of look below, and you're probably at least 100 feet above the ground, and there you can see like beautiful sort of moss covered areas near the bases of trees. You can see wildflowers blooming all around below you, and every once in a while, a tree, that's right, a leaf from one of the trees will fall, and it will kind of wisp around you with the wind. And occasionally, pale white petals will mix with the breeze, and you'll smell something like that smells like freesia or sandalwood at various points from different breezes that sort of wisp across you. Um, let's see here. She leads you up the steps that are carved into the massive tree and across several platforms and bridges to an elegant elven structure high in the canopy. You're brought to a great hall that is similar to a cathedral, but the pillars and arches seem to be mostly natural, most likely grown to be part of this structure rather than carved from it. And you can also even see like sometimes moss will grow from some of these pillars, or even like leaves will sprout from them within the structure itself. Let's see here. Up ahead, up a few steps is an imposing throne made of branches, elegantly woven through a set of massive antlers. You are led off to the left from this great throne and brought to an airy room with a beautiful view of the forest below you. There is a fire crackling in the hearth nearby, with two sofas.
It's okay.
Oh, sorry.
Just give it a second. Just give it a second. It's fine.
It's all good.
There you go.
2 sofas.
Let's see here. Okay. There's a crackling fire on the hearth with two sofas and 6 armchairs arranged in an oval. You see a tall elf placing a large book back on a bookshelf. Those with high perception notice the title is Tales of the Archfey. He has golden hair, and his eyes are slitted like a cat's, and they are a beautiful emerald green that are flecked with gold. He wears an intricate crown of gold that has a soft glow about it. The crown is shaped into leaves that wrap around the head from the back to the front, but do not quite meet at the front. Instead, they curve upwards slightly, much like sort of like a Caesar's crown.
Mm.
Um, he wears what appears to be some kind of holy symbol of a unicorn, and an elegant elven robe of green and bronze. He has an awe-inspiring presence. You know that you are in the presence of someone very powerful and ancient. Um, there are also, I would say that the elves both notice that there's sort of like a strange reflection in his eyes. It's almost like a half moon, and you realize that this means that he is in the last century of his life. He only has 100 years left.
I
maybe
think
less.
when I see
Maybe
him,
less.
I bow like really low
Yeah,
Hmm.
same.
Yeah.
Very deep
He
respect.
because I like pay like a lot of respect to him.
hmm he notices the gesture and bows his head deeply to you as well. You also see there are 3 others in the room as well, all seated on one of the sofas. A young man with the face of a supermodel. He has short, pale blonde hair, blue-green eyes, and his ears are pointed but not as pronounced as an elf or even a half elf. Um, and he wears an elven crown of soft gold. Uh, he has a sleeveless pale green doublet with a flowing white shirt underneath it, and cream-colored pants that fit him very well. The young man has his arm around a young girl, about 10 or so. She has pointed ears a little longer than an elf's, that come out sort of more to the side than above. And her face is almost a mirror of the young man's, but her eyes are slitted like a cat's and green with golden flecks, like the elven man uh, who was standing. Let's see. Um, um, and her hair tumbles around her in golden ringlets. Um, there is also a sprite that is hovering in front of her and speaking to her, but as soon as you enter and it sees you, it vanishes.
Do I get the little like because I can read lips like what she was saying, just like the little parts last of it?
No, because he wasn't facing you.
Okay. But I was facing
Um,
her. What was she saying?
Oh, no, you saw the back. Oh, like the good little girl wasn't saying anything. Didn't say
Oh,
anything.
he was
Yeah,
saying, yeah, I get it. I get
yeah,
you what you mean.
yeah.
As soon as
And
I
then
see his face, I want to subtly detect his thoughts.
just a second. The last person on the sofa is a beautiful young woman who appears to be of elven descent, but not fully an elf. She has pale blonde hair with beautiful blue eyes, and is wearing a beautiful elven dress of silver and pale blue that almost seems to evoke sort of an image of water about her. And she is by far the most beautiful woman any of you have ever seen. Um, so Enifira, you're the steward who's brought you here, sort of bows to the golden-haired elf, and she says, "Your Grace," and then she begins to. I would say she probably got to know you a little bit on her way there, and so she uses this moment to introduce you all to him. Um, and then she says, "You all have the great honor to meet His Grace." Uh, let's see here. King Therandil Nimue Galadon, King of Silvestre, Lord of Solanor, Protector of Faithris, and King of the Elven realm of Silvestre. Um, and then he sort of nods his head to her and he says, "Thank you, Enifira," and she kind of bows and leaves. And then he turns to you all and he says, allow me to introduce you to my family." Um, he points to the beautiful young man, and he says, "This is my consort, Orphan." And then he points to the
Orphan?
tenure Orphan. Um, and then he points to the 10-year-old girl. This is our daughter Otania. And of course, my mother-in-law, Finway, he says, pointing to the beautiful woman who is sitting next to Orphan. Let's see here. Orphan kind of smiles to you, and let me see here. He says, He says it's so good that that we have a new group that will bring an end to this clash of seasons. I've heard much about the other adventurers, but never had the honor of meeting them.
Well, congrats, you've just met a rare one.
He-
They didn't even know what my amulet did before.
oh, interesting. What does your amulet do? It's quite beautiful.
We can talk about it over dinner or drinks.
Of course, we'll all have dinner together.
Okay. I call dibs on sitting next to you.
In front of his daughter.
Um,
Seriously.
as you say this, you notice that Therandil is looking at you, his eyebrows raised slightly.
What's up?
Um, he just kind of shakes his head.
I
And
just look at him. I'm like, she's mouthing.
yeah, he just kind of shakes his head. So by the consort means that it's his husband. They're married.
Oh.
Just yeah, just so
Okay.
you know.
Did you want me to sit next to you too?
He just kind of chuckles and ignores you. And yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, just in case it wasn't clear, Orphan and
I wasn't
Thorandil are
quite sure.
married, and Otania is their daughter.
Oh, okay.
What was
That's what I
the
was like. I
It
was
all
like,
worked.
is their daughter? Seriously?
what was the mother-in-law's name? I didn't catch that.
Finway.
Finway. And what's funny is she looks about the same age as her son, Orphan.
still say we can talk about it later.
Okay. Thank you for having us in this beautiful kingdom.
Of course.
We are here to end the threat of the Blighter Queen.
Yes, we have heard that have come to seek the amulet of the woodland hero, who the last report that we had was that it was with her. Let's see here. I think as you're sitting down, I think Atania looks at Astor and she says, "What are you?"
That is a good question. My name is Aster, and like he just kind of like holds his hand out, but like instead of like doing the like firm shake, he just kind of like puts it out for her.
Uh-huh. She shakes it and she says, "You're very interesting looking."
Thank you. So are you? And he does like the little pat on like the head.
And she says, "Are you a construct? I think I've heard about constructs."
I am. Have you heard of my name before?
No.
It's this
Are you
10-year-old girl.
are you I've been told that constructs can't think though. And then Orphan says, "That's rude, Otania. Astra clearly has consciousness. It's true that most constructs don't have consciousness, but they still have some measure of thought process."
Yeah, but they don't have feelings, so you can be as mean to them as you want.
I have feelings.
She kind of chuckles, and then Orphan says, "We should never be mean to something, even if it doesn't have feelings. It's always good to be nice."
Aster kind of like looks up where everyone goes like, I am sitting here. I can hear you. I have feelings.
He's lying.
Or Orphan says, My apologies, Astor, for any offense given from me or my daughter."
No, and like he just like looks at Altamnia and just goes like, it's good to ask questions. That is how we learn.
She kind of nods, and she says, "I will be queen one day, so I must ask a lot of questions so that I can know everything."
Speaking of questions, I'd love to hear more about the Blighter Queen.
Of course. Let's see here. Okay, so he reiterates a little bit about blighters, that they are druids that forsook their vows for a prolonged life at the cost of others. They suck life from the plants, animals, and people around them. About 200 years ago, Erendil, the last bearer of the amulet of the Woodland Hero, and a small party of rangers went in search of Erendil's sister, who had been kidnapped by the Blighter Queen. They never returned. 100 years later, we learned of where she kept her court. I led a company of elves to root her out and destroy her. We fought a great battle and killed most of her followers, many cultists and a few lesser blighters, but unfortunately she slipped through our fingers. We do not know exactly where she is now, but it is somewhere in the Forest of Shadow, as it reeks of her corrupting influence.
Who was the one saying this?
Sorry, say that again?
Who was the one saying this?
Arendelle?
Rowan, speak again.
Sorry, it's who was the one saying this? Who's
This is
who's the one who led
King
them? The king himself.
King Therendil, yes. He says this was before I was. Oh, actually, no, it wasn't 100 years. Yeah, yeah. He said this was. I guess it would have been maybe more than that. Let me think here.
Did you
Or
know?
maybe he was just a young king
Oh,
one.
actually, yeah. I know that's right because that is part of the area. So actually, yeah, no, that's fine. Yeah, this was 100 years ago. He can't. There's a thing that he can't leave. He can't leave Silvestre.
Your Majesty, did you meet the other heroes of the amulets?
He says yes. It was a few centuries ago.
Did you
She
see
was
a woman who was really pretty and probably good at
um,
enchanting people?
there were a few ladies. One of them was quite skilled at enchanting. She was an Eladrin, had beautiful golden hair, and I can't remember her eye color. It's been some years,
They
but
weren't purple, right?
no, I don't think so. She was a very powerful sorceress.
I don't think she's the one in my amulet, though.
Uh, well, I wouldn't. Of course, I wouldn't have met anyone in any of the amulets. Those are
Oh.
the those are the soul fragments of their creators who died
Oh.
millennium ago.
Okay.
Let's see here. Do, 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 do. Okay.
Interesting that the Blighted Queen would do that to herself.
That she would do what? Sorry.
For sake of vows.
Yes. Not many follow this path. It is a terrible path to follow. Um, uh, and usually it's very rare for an elf to follow it, but she is an elf.
Can
Um,
can there be more than one chosen one per amulet?
of course, there is not there's there are I think of it as
Think of it as like soulmates. We don't have just
yeah.
one soulmate.
Exactly. That's what I was about to say. Yeah.
Oh.
So there are many that that one could be happy with, but you must choose who to be your soulmate.
Has the
And for
amulet chosen her at the moment?
who? Sorry.
Has the amulet chosen the Blighter Queen?
Oh, I highly doubt that. Um, the uh, she is hardly the champion of nature at this time.
So she's just hoarding it.
Right.
Yes.
Yes. Is there anything you could point us towards to find her?
Well, let me tell you a little bit more about her and her powers, and we will get to that. Um,
That'd be wonderful.
she has as her minions blights and undead. Uh, she has great fell powers. Um, and of course, it's important that you use magical weapons against her, um, as she would have resistance to your attacks. Uh,
Right.
Blighters often take up residence at a dryad's tree. First, they either kill the dryad or corrupt them with madness. Then they consume the tree over a long period of time to rejuvenate their power and extend their life. There are about 10 dryad trees that we know of. There could be more, of course, um, that are within the Forest of Shadow. Most of the Dryads have gone mad from the corruption of the forest. We were unable to find her um, at any of them, but perhaps you can. And of course, we have a map here of where they are. Let's see here. Um, there are three of these. He points to some of the dryad trees on the maps. Are red oaks. There's an elder red oak, two elder willows, an alder, and three magnolias. Let's see. You could also investigate the ruins of her last residence, where we killed her and where we killed her followers. We might be able to find something that we missed. Um, let's see. We also have heard recently of a family of wood nymphs that live on the edge of the Forest of the Shadow. they might know a bit more. They might know of other dryad trees in the Forest of Shadow, where the Blighter Queen might be.
So we just gotta
Right.
investigate these dryad trees until we find the right one.
Hmm. Also, let me see here. Also,
Yeah.
you can see if you can learn anything more from our library here. You might learn something I've forgotten or never even found myself.
Have you
You
asked the king?
Yeah.
Have you asked the other
continue.
king? He's really good at divination magic. He might be able to tell us.
Lord Orlon, not king.
Mm.
Oh lord.
Yes. I assure you, Lord Orlan has tried to assist us in this, but she is impervious to divination magic.
Bodhi will look at his holy symbol with the unicorn and say, "Is there any way that the Forest Queen could help these dryads?"
Um, let's see. Unfortunately, the only way to bring them back is to heal the forest itself or the tree itself. Um, um, yes, unfortunately, that is the only way. We have attempted to do so, but her power is great, and I fear the only way to truly cleanse the land is to defeat her.
Yeah. Guess we should get it over with.
Mhm.
You have a library, by the way. And her eyes just go like sparkly anime.
Yeah, of course. You may peruse it at your leisure and perhaps find something that I have forgotten or never learned myself.
I think her leg just starts shaking. You mind if I go right now?
Oh, not at all. Um, actually, we figured we might give you all a tour of sort of the area here, and of course, we will. We could start the tour or with the library if you wish, and you could forego the rest of it, or perhaps we could have it at the end. Your choice.
I don't want to sound rude, but I really want to see that library, if that's okay.
Of course, we'll head there right away. So,
Thank you, my king. I'm just a little excited.
of course. So they kind of they get up and they take you through um the uh, the the forested city high up in the trees. You kind of pass through an area where there's sort of like a small amphitheater high in the trees where they have plays and operas and such and other performances and they kind of and then the next place that they go to is this beautiful library. The great library of Solanair resides high in the treetops and has large arched windows that let in the pale green gold light that filters in through the branches. As you enter, you see several seating areas and desks that line the grand windows, while the center of the library is filled with a towering maze of bookshelves, and directly ahead of you is a large front desk with a multitude of librarians busy sorting books or answering visitors' questions.
I think Lucia takes like Maito's hand and is just like, "Isn't it beautiful?"
It's gorgeous.
Go play.
It's everything I ever wanted.
We're going to go search, and like she just like pulls Micah's hand and is just like, "Let's
I'm searching
go."
for Asterminos and information on Kijani.
Fucking nerds.
Okay. So for anyone who wants to continue the tour, the Thorandil and his family kind of leave with you, moving out throughout the rest of the upper levels of Solanor. They show you like this beautiful stream that there's these waterfalls that kind of fall into this old now long dead tree that creates these beautiful there's like this basically this beautiful pool that is basically super deep because it just goes throughout the entire dead tree and there's like and then there's sections of it that kind of spurt out from the dead tree and create these beautiful waterfalls. And there's like these like hot springs below at the bottom. And there's basically like a whole spa area that you can go to and
Can
get
we go
like
to the hot
treatments.
springs?
Yeah. And they show you also beautiful like gardens that are hanging in various areas as well, and they just give you a beautiful tour of the rest of the city.
Aster will ask like a clarifying question because he
Mhm.
is concerned about the dryads. So when Bodhi asked like how to help the dryads, like could the forest queen help the dryads, and they said like the only way to help them is to restore the forest. I guess his specific question would be, does that help if the dryad has also gone mad, or that just helps them if they're not feeling well?
Yeah, no, either one. Like,
Okay.
yeah. So basically, restoring the forest basically comes down to killing the blighter queen.
Okay.
Yeah, and that will restore them.
I want to ask Orphan if he'll go to the hot springs with me.
Oh, gods. In front of his
Oh
daughter.
my
His daughter's not
god.
here anymore.
Yes, she is.
Oh, okay. I'll ask when she's not looking.
Hullbreaker!
I'm just asking. It's
Uh,
innocent. It's hot springs.
yeah.
I love
Let's
this.
see.
I've seen enough anime hot spring episodes.
Yeah, I've
What?
seen
Hot
it
springs are
too.
meant to be enjoyed with friends.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh.
Not strangers.
Yeah, let me see here.
I make friends very easily.
You're
He,
ruined.
Not with
he,
the king!
he kind of looks at you and he's like, "Of course, Therendil and I would love to join you along with our daughter."
Okay, let's go.
So you all kind of hang out in the hot springs.
He's the only one who's paying attention
Fi-
on this tour.
Finway, the beautiful young grandma, once she gets to the hot springs, you can see she's in her element, and she basically makes the water move around in beautiful patterns and creates like these, like basically she does like does like one of those like fountain shows,
That
like
is
you
so
know.
cool.
And you kind of learn that she is actually a
Water
river.
genasi.
She's a river nymph.
Oh,
Ooh.
that's even cooler than a water
Yeah.
genasi.
She's originally from the Feywild. Is kind of some information that sort of gets leaked through in your conversations.
That's a really cool trick.
So is Autumnia, is she also like half river nymph then? River nymph then?
No. So Orphea, oh sorry, not Orphea, sorry, Orphan.
Orphan.
Orphan is basically like partial river nymph. He's the river nymphs are pretty much always female, and so if a river nymph has a son, then instead they have some of the powers of a river nymph, but they're not like a full-fledged river nymph.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so yeah, so anyways, he married Terandila, and somehow they have had Autania together. She definitely is their biological child.
So cool.
Tell me when you go back to the library because I put a list down of stuff that I want to search up.
Yeah, sure. Is there anything else that you guys wanted to, discuss or say with the family as you're in the hot springs?
I'll just get closer to Orphan and tell him about the amulet.
Okay.
And I think. Oh, go ahead.
He has Artania on his lap, and he's like, "Yes, it's very beautiful." And Artania's like, "It's so pretty."
You want to touch it?
Yes, and she kind of like looks at it and touches it. It's so beautiful. I think it's way prettier than Aster's.
Yeah. It's meant for someone prettier than Aster.
I can tell, and you are so pretty. She says,
Aw,
kind of
you're
looking up
so
at you.
cute.
Thank you.
Oh my gosh. And then, yeah, I'll just tell her, like, look, helps me do all these cool tricks. It complements my eyes.
It does. So, back in the
Oh,
library, or unless, sorry, did you guys have?
last. I just remember the thing I was going to say. So then the only thing with Aster would probably be having a conversation with King Arundel.
Thorindel.
Obviously,
Thorindel?
how do you say it?
Thorindel.
Farendel.
No, sorry, Thorindel. Sorry, Thorindel.
Thorindel, yeah.
Arendelle is frozen.
I'm gonna call him Thera.
Copyrighted.
No, Arendelle was the previous.
Arendelle is the city in Frozen.
Yeah, it's the country in Frozen.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
The kingdom.
Kingdom, yeah.
Anyway.
He asked like his normal question about like if they know anything about Astraminos, and then if they don't, I feel like he would probably just have like a very nice long conversation about history.
Okay. Yep. They do it. It seems like they're not as versed in history as Lord Orlan was. It's not really their thing. You find that Serandil is a paladin of the ancients. And he is very, very powerful. And you find out that Orphan is a warlock. Seems to be. He it doesn't say what pact he's made, but you guess that's probably a Fey pact.
Huh. Okay, so then if he's not really into history, I think like before we cut away, like he would probably just start talking about kind of like the rigors of being like a paladin, where you're being held up to like such a high standard and a code, and like how that sometimes conflicts with like what other people want to do and what you really want to do.
And in this conversation, you eventually glean. You're saying this, and Otania is like, and Daddy is such a good paladin because Elioquin, the unicorn, decided that Daddy was so good that he would be his friend, and they went to like battle together several times. And sometimes if you go near like Faithris, then you can sometimes see him, and he's really, really cool. But he doesn't come out for just anybody.
Huh.
Can I do?
That's
Can
cool.
I try to see if he'll see me? If I'll see him?
Of course, we could head over to Faithris.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys head on over to Faithris.
We should go one at a time so we know who's worthy.
So yeah, you head on over to Faithris. Let me pull this up. Where is it?
It ends up being Micah, and the unicorn just goes up straight up to the library.
Let's see. There's a lot there. Okay.
Is it time for her nap yet?
She's 10. She's not a toddler.
10-year-olds need naps.
No, they don't.
You don't.
I still take naps to this day.
Let's see.
Yeah, but 10-year-olds have a lot of energy.
Exactly, they need naps.
Where is it?
That literally doesn't make sense.
That doesn't make sense. When I was 10, I hated naps.
Right. You're missing out, that's why.
Well, okay, now I have naps, but like when I was 10, like...
Between the ages of 3 and 14, you don't have naps.
Yeah.
Okay. I can't find where I wrote all the fancy descriptions of Faithful, so I'll just have to wing it.
Did you want to do the library first while you thought about it?
Well, it's not a question of thinking about it. It's a question of
It's
finding of what I wrote, the fancy descriptions. So you'll just have to get improv here. But so it's this beautiful tree that is immense. It's like 10 times the height of any other one. The size of it is that of like a large house as far as like the base of it. And there's these huge roots that even like arch over, and there's like these beautiful mosses that grow around it and flowers. And there's a few druids and clerics of Ilana that are kind of tending to it. And you every once in a while you'll see a dryad in its trees high above, with beautiful. Each of these dryads have beautiful hair made of like these green leaves, and they have sort of pale skin that has sort of roughness to it that looks sort of like bark, um, and these gleaming green eyes as they peer out at you from behind like the branches. And yeah, it's truly awe-inspiring. None of you have seen a tree this large or as beautiful ever in your lifetime.
I mean, Lucia and Micah haven't still seen it.
Yeah, but and so Orphan kind of gives you a little bit of a description about it, and I would say that Rowan probably knows a little bit of this already, but and there's this beautiful pool also that's sort of like in front of this tree, and that has sort of a golden light to it, and basically upon the creation of not long after the creation of the material plane, Alana created this tree, Faithress, and from its fruit. Oh, in fact, you do see these um, like sort of like football-sized like fruits that are kind of like hanging suspended at various points from the tree. And it's from these fruits that many of the Fey creatures were created, and Faithress itself has a greater sentience than other plants, and it desired to create something even greater, and so from its reflection, it created the Feywild, and so that's why the Feywild is a reflection of the material plane, and it's from its reflection in this large
This is
pool
a
beneath
very
it.
fucking sacred tree.
Yeah.
So
And so basically from its own reflection in the Feywild, Faithress in the Feywild created even more Fey creatures that inhabit the Fey realm, as
Rowan will
well as
shift his energy to kind of match the energy of the tree around the tree.
it also created the first Archfey from its fruit.
Yeah, Rowan's gonna kind of just take it in
Mm-hmm.
and try to be respectful of the tree. And
out of character, I'm just like I am wondering like how the dryads are reacting to Bodhi, and like how Bodhi's reacting to basically being in front of like an ancient living tree that's responsible for like life across the world.
Mm-hmm. I would say that the Dryads seem to be looking at him more than anyone else, but they seem to be keeping their distance because of everyone else.
Bodhi just has like a contented smile on his face.
I think if you guys are kind of all moving around the trees, not necessarily as a party, but just on your own, I think that at some point one of the Dryads would appear before Bodhi and say,
are they half dryad?
yes.
I'm giving him a chance. Come on, throwing him a bone.
She is very beautiful, and she looks at you and she says, "Are you a Kajani? I have never met one before."
I am, tree sister.
She kind of smiles and says, "Is this your first time beholding Faithress?"
It is. It is truly wondrous.
It is. She says, would you like to commune with him?
Say yes.
If if I may, I wouldn't want to impose.
Someone like you would not be imposing. Come with me. She sort of holds out her hand towards you.
I'll like delicately take it and let her lead me.
She walks into the tree and pulls you with her. And you find yourself uh, sort of at the base of the root, and you can see that there's like sort of a hollowed out area within, and there's these beautiful green lights that are kind of like uh, fungi that are growing from within the tree, and you can see up into the tops of the inside of the tree, and it's just this glowing green, and you can feel a presence of the ancients, a presence of wisdom and curiosity and a desire to create. And you see and then she sort of presses your hand her hand over yours and makes you touch the base of the tree, and you see visions of sort of things that the tree has seen over the centuries, um, like elven kings and queens being coronated under its branches, um, unions uh, of different marriages, and and you see you see certain elves that have some kind of a union with these beautiful swords that you know have a sentience to them, and you also see uh, Orphan and Sarandwil pick one of the fruit from the tree and and sort of bathe it in the pool, and they sort of they they unite together over it, and then the seed blooms, and there's a beautiful baby that comes from the seed as it opens, or the fruit as it opens up on this like lily pad that sort of like flows across the pool next to them, with beautiful golden hair and green eyes, and you realize that this was how Otania was created.
I think Bodhi is just like softly crying
Softly cry.
with like happiness
Mhm.
because he didn't like know about this tree that it existed,
Mhm.
but he's happy knowing that it does.
I think the dryad smiles, and you see tears in her eyes as well, and she kind of puts her hand to your heart, and places your hand on her heart, and you just have this special moment of union between the two of you and the tree uh, for quite some time.
Thank you for this gift.
She nods and then takes you outside, from inside to outside of Faith. Yeah, and the rest of you kind of wander, and let's see here. Where is it? Perceptions. Um, I think that as you're kind of moving about, Bodhi, both Bodhi and Rowan get a glimpse of what looks like a white horse at one point that's kind of looking at you, but you don't quite see all of it, and it kind of moves away. And you get a sense that it might have been a unicorn, but you didn't actually get a good enough look at it.
Did it look like we could follow it?
No, you wouldn't know where it went.
Guess that's it.
Okay. Back to the library.
Ooh, the library.
is open. The library is open.
So I've taken Micah over to the librarians probably and I'm just like, oh, we have so much to search. You said you wanted to look for Aster Minos and what else?
Information on Kijani, just in general. I want to learn a few things.
Well,
specifically.
we can look for that first, and then I have a lot of things I want to look at.
What does Lucia want to look for?
So I have a list. Blighter Queen. More information on the amulets. Possible books on the Wizard Tower and the Dwarf Kingdom.
Okay. Let's see. I'm gonna say you could do some of those can be clumped together, others not. So like you'll have to do another day of searching.
Yeah, that's fine.
So,
I mean.
So what's your priority?
Priority is Blighter Queen and amulets.
Okay. I think you could do. We'll allow you to do 2 investigation checks, one for each subject. So
okay.
the first one will be on Blighter Queen and Blighters in general.
Can we say we're doing advantage since both of us are searching at the same time?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, can I guide?
Yeah, I suppose you can do that because you could cast it multiple times.
Daddy Tibby guiding you.
Looking out.
Okay. Just 1 second.
Okay, 22.
Okay, that's for my first one. Do you want me to roll again?
Yes, for the second one.
Okay. Where's this? Oh, that's not as good.
Aww.
13. And then I guess.
Your passive investigation is 18, right?
Oh, it's 20 on that. So. My passive investigation is 20. I forgot that for a second. It's because I'm observant, okay?
You decided to get a feat that lets you do that.
Yeah. I might as well use that feat. It's just like.
There's also some researchers there as well. Did you want to ask them for help at all, or do you think you got yourself?
I guess we can ask for some research help. Also, sure. I guess then we switch around for so I be helping Micah for his stuff too.
Yeah, that'll be on another day.
Okay.
So can you do just a straight investigation check for researchers?
Yes. Ooh.
Ooh, not so good.
But also 20 passive? Or are we just doing it?
No, that's right. Let's see here. So you find a researcher that can help you, and he adds basically a +3 to your investigation checks. And so you find Vardir, and as you're kind of looking through, he mentions that that this is not written in any books at all, but he mentions that He knows that there's some hags in the Forest of Shadow who might know where the Blighter Queen is, but you'd probably have to make a deal with them, which might be ill-advised. He's not entirely certain, but you know, that's a thing. And let's see here. Oh, and he actually knows that the hag Millicent knows where the Blighter Queen is, but he says that her price. Oh, somebody's phone is ringing.
Yeah, that's fine.
But her price is too high. He says, in his own opinion. When he at one point was going to make a deal with her, but he was asked for his one true love, which he hasn't actually found yet, and so he decided to not go with the deal.
Oh, that must have been not fun.
Yeah.
Suck.
So he says. I mean, maybe you can get some information out of them, but probably only if you make a deal. I don't know. It might be worth a visit, but I'm just warning you. The price might not be
Yes.
a good one. We'll see. But let's see here now. So as far as information on the Blighter Queens, you find a book that speaks to the origins of blights, which come from like this tree that sprouted from the first vampire. And then blighters, of course, one's already stuff you know. The first druid to become a blighter was Viridian, the Blighter King. It is said that he gained his powers by consuming the hearts of a vampire and a dryad in a ritual performed in a dryad tree that had been consumed by blight. His power became so great that he became a demigod of usurpers and blighters and resides in one of the 6 layers of Carcerai, which is on the outer planes. Other blighters include the Prince of Pain, who was defeated actually by, let's see, by
Wait, outer planes on what place?
hell, basically. You know, like Carcerai is the plane, but it's I think it's not. I forget if it's hell or the abyss.
It's yeah,
anyway.
it's like a weird thing where it's basically a plane full of. It's just a prison plane in general.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
yeah. I was just noting it down. Cool.
Then the Prince of Pain was defeated by Thranduil, the Elven Lord of Deepwood. Deepwood is in the ruins of Nineveh. This was many centuries ago.
I've heard of Nineveh before.
With Dawnbringer, a legendary sword that harnessed the power of the sun. The Lady of Nine Lives was presumed to have been defeated at least twice. Each time she was defeated, she turned into mist. So it is believed that she assumed a misty form in order to escape. Each time she was defeated, she did not show herself for 100 years. Each time she came back less powerful than before. The Queen of the Murkywood was defeated by a triad of moon nymphs, who harness the power of the moon.
This is a lot. You're going to have to slow down just a tiny bit.
Don't worry, I'll copy and paste a lot of this for later.
Oh, thank God.
They were in the service of Sehanine Moonbow, who is, of course, a member of the Seldarin, one of the elven gods. At the beginning of the Third Age, a Blighter's realm is home to blights, undead, and fallen fae. Some blights have a preference over what kind of dryad tree they take up residence at, so they might prefer one type over another, which is useful information. And some blighters.
Which one did he say was the tree that they found her minions at?
They didn't say what type of tree.
Okay, I thought they did.
So you might have to go to that place to find that out. And then some blighters have mind control abilities and can enslave fey creatures and humanoids to their will.
That would be helpful.
Yep. And then let's see here. Your other investigation was for what again? The amulets in general, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Got it. Okay, so you basically are not able to find out anything that you don't already know.
Okay. I just thought maybe was going there. Giant library. I might as well look for something
Yeah.
about the amulets.
And so that's gonna basically take up the whole day, and I think we will end here.
Cool.
So yeah.
Cool.
Okay. Well, thanks for watching with us. If you're watching on Twitch, be sure and follow us on Twitch. And if you're watching this later on YouTube, be sure and like and subscribe. And we'll see you next week.
Woot woot.
See ya.
Okay.
Bye.